you see, I know we couldn't make it. Even when I'm off beat, I still land on my feet. And nothing can shake me, cause I know life took a hold on me. I never. This is where I am destined to be. I'm not ready to give up. I believe in the miracle of life. Life's a play for no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games can play, can't take it personal. Cause the devil is a liar. I'm telling you the truth. It's all in what you do. Some things you gotta do. It's fight for millions. Take a second, see the blessing in it. But much expected, much is given. One that made the living, now I'm giving back to children. Never let the power come first before your happiness. Yes, you can be the best if you go the distance. Mix a little sweat with your persistence. You know that the best things are never instant. Just shine, let them see your brilliance. Give up, open up your eyes now. It's the moment of truth. No backing down. We're bringing it to life. Oh, for the children, it's a given. You gotta give it, be a blessing.
This my personal statement. Run the game like I'm aces. Learn to develop patience, determined to be the greatest. Yeah, bobbing and weaving, they changing up like the seasons. Indigenous to the grind, so I do it for all my people. Jabbing in competition, back up against the ropes. You fighting for recognition. I'm fighting just to promote equality where we lack it. Our parents are slow on our road. I'm confident we'll make it. We focus on common goals.
Yeah, give back, give love, giving something away. Never give up, stand tall to fight another day. 2 toes, 2 feet, I stand on the ground. I'm going wrestle and fight this final round. Life's a play for no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Can't take it personal, cause the devil is a liar. Telling you the truth, it's all in what you do. Some things you gotta do. I'm gonna shovel that out and get to those in me.
Barbershop Conversations, man. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. We got a Friday night special, man. We Friday night live, and I figured y'all niggas DMing me and shit. I said I might as well start live before Dejanay comes in and we go 420 on y'all. Obviously, I know as much information as y'all know as it relates to Wilder. Y'all hit me about Shawn Porter being jealous. I said we might as well just come in here and talk about it. I'm gonna open up the phone lines and shit, and we'll go from there. So hopefully everyone had a great Friday. We're having a good time, and we're just gonna rock out for the next 2 or 3 hours, man. That's why I came in a little bit early, man. You know, DB. I figured why read your emails when I can read your chat comments? You know what I'm saying, DB? So that's how I feel today. You know what I mean? We gonna do overtime, man. I was y'all kind of rejuvenated me yesterday, man. I forgot how fun it was conversing with y'all. We had a lot of guests, but yesterday's show just hit a little bit different yesterday, man. I miss talking to y'all, you know what I mean? So I got to save some room in the schedule because y'all niggas are hilarious, even when you talking bad about me, you know what I mean? I love the jokes either way. So that's where we're at, man. Let me fix mine so we can see the whole like half of my room. So, or should I say office? So anyways, man, we rocking and rolling, man. Yeah, let's just jump right into it, man. Tell me, guys, what you think about like Deontay Wilder. I watched Blue Blood's video as it relates to him, and he has a permanent not intrusion, but damn, what's the exact word? Intrusion, protrusion. It's one of them words. I should go ask Dr. Dre real quick. What is it? I don't know what it's something. Y'all know what it is. It's like he has a permanent indentation on the side of his face. And he said it was a foreign object, metal object, and he was drugged. And also, y'all was hitting me all day about the Shawn Porter and Earl Spence. Shawn needs to stop doing interviews. I'm just gonna say that shit right now. Shawn, no more interviews about Earl Spence. You're gonna lose your last 15 fans. Like, stop doing. That's just my humble opinion. Stop doing interviews, man. So feel free to call in, man. That's where we're at with the show. When the young lady comes in, Dejanay, when she comes in, we're gonna hop into 420. We got 30 minutes to say what you guys got to say, and we'll do that right now. And then so feel free to call in and let me know where you guys are at. And then when she beams in, we're gonna go 420, and then when the show opens up, we can go back to boxing and everything else. You know what I mean? But she has a big personality. I was reading her chats from last Saturday. So so feel free to beam in, man. It's a contusion. No, it's not a contusion. It's he has an indentation on the side of his face. You know what I mean? Like, Shawn Porter is a weirdo and a hater, man. It's just, the older he gets, the more he's becoming like his father. The older he gets, the older and older I'm gonna do a video on it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do a video on that shit. You know what I mean? The chat messed up. What's wrong with the chat, Lonnie? What the chat saying, Lonnie? The chat messed up. Right. The chat messed up. What they saying in there? I'm curious to know. Call me now. So let me look at it right here. I'm reading this article real quick. Let me. Damn. All right, yeah. So feel free to call in. We good, and we're gonna rock and roll. The phone lines are open, and if you guys want to beam in, feel free to beam in. I'll start with Shawn because I know we're gonna spend a lot more time on Wilder. So I'll start with the Shawn Porter stuff. Doesn't just dress like a cartoon character. He talks and acts like one too. You know what I mean? The older he gets, I genuinely believe he's becoming more and more like his father. You understand what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is has a grand perception of reality. Oh man, you understand what I'm saying? He has a grand perception of reality. Man, you just got to accept the truth. You know, it was an entertaining fight. Each round was competitive, which makes the fight competitive. Shawn, I tried. Honestly, I rewatched that fight about a month ago. Y'all remember I did that video? It was a Friday night, slow. It was nothing moving. And I said, I tried to give him some rounds, but the rounds were close, yet clear Earl Spence rounds. I had him 8-4, and it could have been 9-3 with the knockdown. You know what I mean? Yeah, get the likes up, y'all. Please. I can't see him on this program. So get the likes up. And but I think enough is enough, man. It all started when what's his name? Kenny Porter said Earl Spence is not that bright. You know what I mean? And then he said he intimidated him at Papa Do's or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, and then Shawn Porter doubles down and says he's jealous of me. He's jealous of me in this. And then here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. I don't know if y'all know this. I don't know if I even told y'all this. But so I interviewed Earl Spence, I do what I do. 8-4 easy for Spence. Yeah. At the worst, the fight is 8-4, which makes it 9-4 with the knockdown. Um, what else? So I interviewed Earl Spence. It was the Jamel Charlo. He and I had a good interview, 10 to 15-minute interview. You know what I mean? And I asked him about the jealous comments. I remember it was in Shawn Porter's backyard about the jealous comments, right? And so I said, I asked him, what about the jealous comments? Kenny Porter, this is like the realest of the real. Kenny Porter calls PBC and tells them they don't want me at the press conference. Like it's just beyond me. Kenny Porter is like, man, just beyond the bottom of the barrel. And which is fine. I'm not mad about it because it doesn't stop me from covering fights because I can afford to buy a ticket. But the fact of the matter is that you have that in you. Shawn, just stay humble. And I'm trying to find the attendance of the Ugas fight. That's what I'm trying to do because you got to put things in perspective. The problem was neither sustained an offensive attack. The crowd was expecting to be a brick ball, but I don't have the paid attendance. I don't have but it was nobody there. The point I want to make is that it was nobody there. I appreciate you, Lonnie. All is well now. Cook on. I appreciate you, man. 199. So at the end of the day, man, I just think that 12 people. I ain't gonna lie, man. You want to know the God honest truth? I had 100 tickets to give away to that fight. And I think like 7 people came. I didn't have 100 tickets in my hand, but people like just invite everybody. You know what I mean? And only like 7 people that I knew came. So the fight didn't make any money except on TV with the advertisement. So I think Shawn needs to fully understand who he is as a fighter because his father is going to tell him he's the best fighter in the world, and which he has every right. He has every right to be. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I think that anyways, man, H Money's in the building, man. What's up?
Last time that I checked, it was 5 chains on my neck.
What's up with it?
How you feel, man? What's up?
I'm good, Fred. Just to touch on the topic real quick. Deontay Wilder, I see on the title it says Deontay Wilder was drugged. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't himself that night. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of rumors that he possibly he had the coronavirus during that time, coming back from Italy when the coronavirus first hit overseas. You know what I'm saying? Wilder came back and he was sick. He missed a lot of promotion during that time because of his illness. You know what I mean? And not to mention Tyson Fury loading up his gloves. Tyson Fury using illegal gloves, bro. And we know what's going on with that, man. I'm still waiting for the brother to come with the medical evidence, you know what I'm saying? With the documents, you know what I'm saying, proving that Tyson Fury had cheated, you know what I'm saying? It's clear that something wasn't right that night, Fred. You know what I'm saying? Even from that first round, Tyson Fury was hitting Wilder with some shots, and you could just tell by Wilder's reaction something wasn't right. You know what I mean? I said, how he reacted to some of those punches, it wasn't right. It was something up with that. You know what I mean? So I got faith in Deontay Wilder. I know Deontay Wilder is going to come back and win in that trilogy. I know Wilder is going to knock him out. I'm not worried about it, bro. You know what I'm saying? He still has to fight Wilder again. We still got him coming up very soon. Tyson Fury knows what's up, man. You know what I mean? And to talk about Earl Spence and the Shawn Porter situation, there's a lot of jealousy coming from Shawn Porter. He's still salty because Earl Spence beat him. He still haven't got over that loss. You know what I'm saying? It still bothers him. You know, Spence, he's rededicated to the sport. Earl Spence is one of the biggest names in boxing. He's a unified welterweight champion. He's pound for pound, top 5 fighters in the world. And Shawn Porter, he wished he was in that position. Shawn Porter wished he was the cash cow. You know what I'm saying? You know, Shawn Porter took a loss to Kell Brook. Shawn Porter got beat by Keith Thurman. Shawn Porter got beat by Earl Spence, bro. You know what I'm saying? So Shawn Porter's a good fighter. He's tough. He'll fight anybody, but he's been getting the short end of the stick for quite some time. And we seen even Ugas gave Shawn Porter a very tough fight. So instead of Shawn Porter still dwelling on Earl Spence, I want to see a rematch between Ugas and Shawn Porter. Fred, what you think about that one?
I don't want to see it, but I will say this though: Shawn Porter will adapt well to fighting with no fans. You know, understand what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like it's he's just kicking himself in the ass every time he does an interview, dog. And people think I'm a hate dog, but I'm like, Shawn, just be quiet about the Earl Spence. It was like 8 months ago. All right, just break down the fight. Oh, he's smarter than Earl. So that means you lost to a dummy? You understand what I'm saying? Oh, he's more dimensional. That means you lost to a one-trick pony? Just be quiet. Just say, man, I'm looking to fight the best, man. There's a WBA regular title that's open because they unified with Bud. What's the guy named? Pacquiao and Thurman. Just be quiet, man. Like, it's just asinine now. Like, it's just disgusting now. Like, it's you like a little boy in the corner sucking his thumb, man, because the bully took your toy. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be quiet, man. Be quiet, man. You're on the threshold, and he's like on the cusp of being a Hall of Famer. He's on the cusp. Like he needs to put 2 big wins together. Maybe he'll get in. Focus on that. Don't focus on how much you just internally just bitter about Earl Spence or he's a lost cause. At the end of the day, I already know what's gonna happen. People about to flood my DMs and shit, but it's a lost cause because it's too consistent. If your father calls him dumb, you call him dumb. It's jealousy. You understand? It's jealousy. It's just simply jealous, man. And you don't need that shit, man. You don't need that shit. You know what I mean? You definitely don't need it. So that's what I say about it.
For sure. You know, he just jealous of Earl Spence making multi-millions, and Shawn Porter had to take the hard route. Earl Spence, man, he's been groomed from the start. He had Floyd Mayweather in his corner, backing him up for quite some time. And Porter, he got it the hard way, you know, and I just see that now he's trying to say that he feels like Terrence Crawford is going to beat Earl Spence, bro. And, I don't agree with that. I think Spence is bigger, stronger than Terrence Crawford. He's faster. You know what I'm saying? Spence is too big for Terrence Crawford. We've seen Terrence Crawford get hurt by Gamboa, a lightweight. Spence is a big welterweight. You know, Spence is just too big for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more. Like, I mean, you got Earl Spence. You lost in a competitive fight. Enjoy the fact that it was a competitive fight, man, and the fans respect you for that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, just enjoy it. Like, don't go on this tangent, man. Man, sometimes you say, man, I wish this guy had a father. And then you look up, he has a father. Then you'd be like, man, you look up and you like, man, I just wish he would just shut up. Like, just shut up. Like, just be quiet. Just be quiet. You lost the fight. It was an entertaining fight. Would I want to see that fight again? I don't know if I want to see that fight again because I know the outcome. You understand? I don't look at Shawn Porter being able to make adjustments. You understand? Like the Kell Brook fight. I told him to his face, a simple adjustment is get a point taken away. Hit that nigga in his nuts, change the tone of the fight. You understand? He's not able to do it. He's not able to do what it takes to win these tough fights. If you're going to be rough and rugged, you got to be dirty too. You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So, and he's unwilling to be that person. You understand? And since he's unwilling to be that person, he's not going to win the big fights because he's not skilled enough. You understand? Man, you ever made something that needed salt and like, fuck, I forgot to put the salt in. That's Shawn Porter. Like, you understand what I'm saying? No disrespect, but I'm just saying, like, he's like, you know what I mean?
He's missing something.
He's missing something. He's missing something. And this is gonna go right over his head. He's gonna watch this video, or somebody in his team gonna watch this video, and they're gonna say, "Oh, Fred, you hating." No. I'm not hating. I'm just being honest. Like I remember I said this story before. I looked at Kenny dead in his face. I said, "Don't you think you need to add somebody to your team?" I'm not gonna say, "Hey, Kenny, I think your training is not as good as it should be. You need to hire somebody else." But I looked at that, I said, "Man, don't you think that you should add somebody?" No, I got everything. I'm in control. I'm the boss. And that's what he told me. And I said, all right, I'm done. So that was it. And his career, see, Shawn is gonna in 15 years, Shawn is gonna come back to me and be like, "Man, Fred, I didn't like what you were saying because it was true." And he and I, maybe 10 or 15 years down the line, you know, I mean, we're gonna run into a fight by accident, and maybe we'll have this comment, but we definitely not gonna talk right now. But I'm just saying, it's just sad that everyone watches a Shawn Porter fight and can tell you exactly what he's missing. Exactly what he's missing. And I think Larry Wade, I think they got top 5, top 3 trainers in the world, physical trainers in the world. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, there's very few better than Coach Larry Wade. I'm just being honest, you know. I genuinely believe Kenny Porter has the ability to drive Shawn. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes he's a bit overboard, as you guys saw in the documentaries and shit. I mean, not the documentary, but that 24/7 they had on Fox when he was just yelling at him and Shawn was about to cry and shit. So he goes a little bit overboard, but he drives him to a point that gets him to a place where he's ultimately good, a very good fighter. He's not great, but he's very, very good. You know what I mean? And he can't get the big one, you know, and because he doesn't have a Derek James and all that shit on there. What's up, DB? What you got?
Hey, just real quick. I wanted to cook just real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still preparing my dinner. I ain't ate nothing yet.
Mm-hmm.
But first things first, Lonnie DiCarlo with the big super chat. Lonnie DiCarlo, that's major love right there.
Yeah, thank you, Lonnie. I'm about to say it in a second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Jay Cooley clowning, he said,
what did he say? I missed it.
Look at the color of y'all shirts right there. He said, y'all rolling 60s tonight.
Hey, I got my nip sweater on, big homie. I got my nip sweater. You know what I mean? I got my nip sweater.
Yeah,
I wouldn't dare
right.
say that because I got to walk out my house tomorrow and I'm right across the street from him. So I wouldn't dare say that. But it sounds good, though, Jay Cooley. It sounds good. It sounds good, Jay Cooley. It sounds great. You know what I mean?
Hey, so real quick before old girl get on.
Mm-hmm.
So look, check this out.
Mm-hmm.
You ever mess with everybody in the chat? You ever mess with that like one chick? She might be cute. She ain't fine, but she cute, but she hella weird.
Mm-hmm.
If she wasn't so weird, she'd be cute.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She like a 7, right?
Uh-huh.
But since she's so weird, that knock her down to like a 5. You like, man, I'm not gonna deal with this weird chick. She ain't bomb enough for me to be messing with her.
Uh-huh. Shawn Porter got titties, no ass, huh?
Yeah.
Right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like titties, no ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
like
like you said, man, and the same thing goes for anybody. If you think about politics, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same way. There's always, 2 liberals or 2 conservatives that end up canceling each other out because somebody's going to, you know what I mean? Because they're splitting voters.
Sure.
And Shawn Porter's doing that. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if it's all even, we can take about 6 guys and we can love all 6,
mm-hmm.
right? So if you take all of the Mexican fighters, for example,
mm-hmm.
nobody's taking nobody else's fans,
mm-hmm.
right? Because the ones that love Canelo are the same ones that love Mikey Garcia.
Facts.
And the same ones that love Mikey are the same ones that love Ryan and every other Vargas and Garcia and Lopez. You understand? But these dudes end up hating on EJ for no reason. So now the votes are split between EJ and CBD,
mm-hmm.
aka Bud.
Uh-huh.
And then you get weirdos like Keith Thurman and Shawn Porter, who now come in and now they're even split.
They are weirdos, man. Continue, man. That's true.
Okay.
They
so
are weirdos.
EJ gonna go out there and fight, and he also gonna be a man about his. So guess what? We gonna love and respect and support him anyway. So now all y'all doing is splitting those fans between Terrence Crawford, Porter, and anyway, those other clowns, right? Who act like buffoons. So they got to realize that, man. Like you're not taking anything away from him. You're taking away from yourself. That's crazy. But anyway, have you ever known somebody to have a weird parent and for them to be completely sane? Think about that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'm gonna fall back, man, because I gotta make this food before a girl get on.
All right, appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
All right, what you got, man?
Yeah, I think Shawn Porter needs to do something about his trainer, bro. Like his dad, he taught him as much as he can. Yeah, he taught him as much as he can, but he can't get him over that hump. He hasn't got him over that hump. So I think if he gets an elite trainer, like you said, possibly possibly one of those trainers like I would say Buddy McGirt or something like that. A Buddy McGirt.
Technical. I want technical. To tell him to fight with distance, Box, stay behind the jab. Like even when he was fighting Ugas, he was moving too much. It looked good to the house. It looked good to the fans, right? It looks good. Like, oh man, he's moving, but it was a lot of wasted movement. You understand what I'm saying? And man, what do I know, man?
You're right though, Fred. You know what you're talking about, bro. His dad, bro, is not the answer, man. He needs to get another trainer. His dad been trying to control his life for the longest. He got to make some adjustments. You know what I'm saying? For sure. But appreciate it, Fred, man. Thank you so much. And I'll be tapping back in after the chick call in.
All right, for sure.
All right, peace, bro.
One. So don't be surprised if I do a live tomorrow on Joe Biden. My day was just too tight today. I couldn't do it. And I'll either do a video or go live sometime tomorrow for about an hour and we can cook on Joe Biden. You know what I mean? I definitely want Reggie Owens to get off. 702, what it do? Where you been? How you been?
Hey, what's up?
Where you been? I called you. Man. We missed you.
Yeah, I've been busy, man. What you been up to, Fred?
How much time you do? 30 days? I already know you went to jail, nigga. I already know.
What you been up to, man? You changed the format of your show a little bit, right?
Not change the format, but just adding to it. I'm not changing it. We still boxing, but I'm like, man, I got the most intelligent, articulate subscribers, fans, supporters, whatever you want to call yourself, family. So I'm like, man, we bigger than boxing. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm just gonna pour my resources out into the channel, and that's what I'm doing.
I saw the headline. That's why I called in. Deontay Wilder was drugged. What's that about?
Well, we'll they have unequivocally evidence that he was, but he'll talk about it. I'm just going off Blue Blood reports. I know nothing with the exception of what Blue Blood said. So, and I trust Blue Blood to come out with facts. So that's what I'm going. I haven't spoken. I called Blue Blood. And as always, he sent me the voicemail. So I'm not that cool.
Damn.
You know what I mean? To
well, you having a good. I see bits and
super
pieces
cool
here and there, man. Show seems good and everything. When I get a chance, I do call in, but it's good to talk to y'all again. I know everybody hate me still.
No, cool. But that's cool. That's cool. Someone got to be the black sheep. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Someone got to fuck
Someone
got to fuck the fat girl. You know what I mean?
Tell Triple G to suck my black ass.
Who? Oh, Triple OG. Yeah, he in here. Triple OG missed you too. We missed you, dog. See, it's a celebration.
Tell that crooked dick motherfucker to keep eating them crunch berries in the fucking convalescent home.
Oh man. I'm glad you're back.
Anyway, man.
I'm glad you're back.
Yeah, no problem. Peace to everybody and all the haters. Hey, you can cut my fucking lawn.
Peace, man. I'm glad they let you out. I'm glad they let you out in the asylum, man. Appreciate you, man. Lonnie DeCarlo. Every time Shawn talks, he lowers the value of his brand. Every time. He just needs to be quiet, dog. Like I'm not even. I can't even sugarcoat it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's just bad. Dana Jones. I watched Spence whoop him last night, and for Richard Steele to score the fight for Porter 115, 112 is a joke. Really, Richard Steele said what? Well, you know Richard Steele. He been on payroll for quite some time. You know what I mean? You know the Mexicans love him. You know what I mean? So T Plums, what's up, man? How you been, dog? It's a pleasure to have you in the chat, man. How long have I been gone? What did I miss? Hello. When did H Money get cool? Anyways, good stuff. Salute to y'all. You know, H Money's on his road back to redemption. You know, he's not invited to the barbecue. He just allowed to hear the stories about the barbecue. You know what I mean? What's up, all of them? Y'all need some music.
Double check the details. Gotta cross my T's and got my eyes where I can't sleep well.
But this is a show, T Plums, man. Everyone's invited. Super Coon just hung up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We got H Money in the building. You know, I mean, haters are allowed to call in. What you got, all of them? What's up?
What's up, man? How you doing tonight?
How you feel?
I'm straight. I'm straight. But yeah, I had a question. Did they ever find out the person, like the person that really drugged the drugging that was in the camp?
Yeah, that's what Blue Blood said. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, he need to get dealt with one way or the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the court, like, is it somebody in this camp that got money or what? Because y'all take the stupid shit out of playing his life like that, man.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't agree.
Like, for real, boy, the love of money is the root of all evil, ain't it?
Isn't it?
Man, they done got to him. They doggone paid that dude in Wild Account, man. They paid him off, man, to do that, man.
Big facts.
Oh man, boy, they're stooped to it. Boy, them crackers are stooped to an all-time low, boy, just to come out to get on top.
I should have. No,
damn.
You're right. No, you're right. And in addition to being drugged, his gloves was loaded. Yeah, they got proof that his gloves were loaded. You know what I mean? I get you in a second.
Exactly. I remember Tay said that a couple of weeks ago. Tay said that. So, man, I want to know, is it go expose exactly who the person is? Put it like, that's what I want to know. Like, they gonna really say the person name and that was in Wild Account for that. Like, man, snakes, boy, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He need to keep his circle super small. He need to bring in his own water, and everything. He needs to be like watching his damn stuff, because look like he can't even trust nobody to watch the water for him.
You need to have the FOI. Can't even trust them now. They killed Malcolm. Yeah.
Exactly. And having, man, he get 24-pack of water and use it as a damn footstool. For real. I have it like for real, man. That's all I want to know is they gonna really expose, like, put it to the forefront, the person that actually did it in Wild Camp. I just don't want to hear like, okay, somebody in this camp did it. Okay, boom. But I want to know, like, is that person give a mug shot or something?
Yeah.
Like something like, hey, put his ass on Front Street for real. Sure. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Oh yeah, and doggone, what's called, man, he's a weird. You're right, man. Keith Thurman, doggone,
Keith Thurman and Shawn are weirdos, right? They weirdos, right?
Man, they weirdos.
Weirdos.
Julian White is a weirdo. He's a porn weirdo, man. And doggone Tyson Fury just checked him.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, that's weirdos. Anthony Joshua, weirdos.
Very different.
They're weirdos.
Very different, right? Very different.
Yeah, they weird, man. They soft weirdos, man.
Yeah, big facts. Big facts.
Yeah, that's all I want to say, man. I'm back in the chat, yo.
I appreciate you, big homie. Appreciate you.
All right.
Yeah, one. Jacksonville in the house, man. Yeah, man. There's something about them, man. Like, it's beyond my own understanding, dog. Like, I don't get it. Like, at the end of the day, someone got to say, because you know what here's the catch to all of this. And you guys know, when people talk, I see both ends of the rainbow, right? Or the spectrum. he says Earl Spence is not that smart. He's one-dimensional, right? So now you got to ask him, ask Shawn Porter, can you define insanity? Shawn Porter, what can you define insanity? He says, yes, insanity is repeating the same thing and expecting different results, right? So when you fight the champions or at the A level, do you change what you do? You know, and if the question is no, then is Earl Spence smarter or are you smarter? You know, I mean, I try to make sense of this whole thing. I do my best to make sense of everything, but you know, what do I know? You know what I mean? If that was my son, honestly, I would, I mean, he's a grown at that age, I would be like, can we just get a PR? Can we just get a PR for, you know what I mean, pay them $3,000 a month, you know what I mean, where we can do on this, you know what I mean? He got to start letting his good deeds talk for him. Because I believe Shawn Porter does good deeds, you know, he's a Christian and stuff like that. Like, you know, when someone commits a crime, they go on this what do you call that shit? The nonprofit tour. They go to the Salvation Army, the YMCA, the thing for battered women, long lost kids. They adopt a pet. You know what I mean? They save a cat out of a tree. You know, he needs to do stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? Because I think that I mean, Earl Spence beat him. I tried, man. Listen, you know how when you know the outcome, and I'm sure 9 out of 10 of y'all do this, right? Even if it's your favorite fighter, right? You try and give the other person a round, like, okay, like, come on, okay, maybe he jabbed him better, maybe he did this. I tried, man. I literally tried, and I couldn't. You know what I mean? Earl Spence was the better fighter that night. Did Earl Spence show lack of last call? What up? You need some music.
Let my tent to B12, double check the details. Gotta cross my T's and dot my I's or I can't sleep well.
What's up? Bro?
Peace, Ramo. Yo, what's going on? Yo, what's the name of that track right there, man? You gonna have me listening to some Nipsey, man. I don't listen to much Nipsey, but I'm gonna check that track out.
Oh, this one right here?
What is that?
Racks in the Middle.
Yeah.
Racks in the Middle.
All right. That's right. All right. Yeah, man. Man, you're talking about a bunch of shit today, yo. The Wilder thing, I'm sure something happened. Are they saying that somebody was paid from the Fury side about that?
Well, he's gonna talk about it, but I don't know who it was. I'm just going off of the Blue Blood interview, and I trust Blue Blood to give like 100% information.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, let me ask you, yo, are you still pissed with them Porter brothers? Them Porter?
No, I'm not. No, I'm absolutely not.
You be sounding bitter, dog.
Oh, really?
Sounding bitter a little bit.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Yeah, man. When I got off the phone about the Mayweather thing, I heard you giving your pitch on what you thought about him, how you don't trust him, and all. I'm like, man, yo, you sound a little bitter.
No, I don't trust him. I don't trust him because you talking about you going back to Mayweather, right?
No. I mean,
okay. I'm sorry.
I'm mentioning Mayweather, but I'm gonna talk about the Porter and.
Feel free.
And
no, absolutely, nah, not even. If I was, I would tell you, honestly.
Porter, in my opinion, all right, I got a couple of conspiracies. The whole thing with Porter, the reason I think Terrence Crawford ain't fighting him, I think Crawford has an appreciation for him, and I think Crawford, if he fights Porter, he's going to have to destroy Porter. You dig what I'm saying? And I think he's going to feel bad for really putting a nail in his coffin. I think Porter needs to focus on other champs. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you can just jump right to another title fight after losing to this dude. And I get it. You know, maybe he's up next. But I think I got a feeling Crawford has an appreciation for him. And if he knows if he get in the ring, he's going to have to really fucking hurt that dude.
Is your last name Porter?
I think he's going to. Say that again?
Is your last name Porter? Are you from Ohio?
No, that's
okay. Just asking.
No, that's negative.
Okay.
That's negative.
Just asking. All right.
Now my conspiracy theory about Keith Thurman. I don't know if a lot of people remember But when Keith Thurman was hot, he was talking about how he wanted the Mayweather fight. And Mayweather, a lot of people don't remember, there was a video of them outside. Mayweather was with a young hype Spence. You know, Spence filmed himself. I remember him having some big ass shades and shit.
Right.
And
I was there.
They was talking about Thurman wanting to fight. Mayweather said on tape, like, yo, tell Thurman if he wants to fight, he has to fight Spence first. After that shit happened, injury, no injury, marriage, no marriage, whatever, the dude disappeared for 2 fucking years and stalled the entire welterweight division up. Now, in my theory is, if Thurman took that fucking leap, face Spence and beat Spence, I can almost guarantee within the 2 years of Floyd leaving, he would have came back and faced whoever was on top, whether it would have been Spence, Thurman, or Terrence. But in 2 years, remember, there was shit happening in 2 years. Yes, and if you think about every time Floyd left the game, he always came back within a year or 2 years. And once it hit that 2-year mark and there was still no fucking activity because fucking Thurman wanted to take 2 years off, he waited a year and a half to let go of the fucking belts. Everything got stalled up. Everything got stalled up. So people mad at PBC for making fucking fights within their camp because Aaron want to be a fucking bird. He's always been a fucking bird. So I think, you know, people get mad. You know, Floyd came back and fought McGregor after 2 years. Yo, McGregor was the biggest athlete in the world. You know what I'm saying? When Floyd left and gave it that 1 year, that 2 year gap, whoever was going to be on top of the world, I knew Floyd was going to come back and face somebody. And the same thing for Golovkin. He told Golovkin, you want to face me, fight Ward. And I bet you Floyd would have fucking fought Golovkin.
Yeah.
But the motherfuckers turned down all the fights. Both of them turned them down. So Thurman right now, he's that motherfucker that is on some wisha, coulda, shoulda type bullshit right now. That nigga's sick right now. He's sick of himself. You know, because he had an opportunity to change the game. The boxing division would have been a completely different animal. Floyd would have took his career to another level. Because at the time, it was those three on top. It was Thurman with the belts. Crawford was runner-up. And no, Crawford was number 2. And Spence was like climbing the charts. Nigga say, yo, face him. And then you can get a chance to face me. Nobody took him serious. Like stupid asses. And now here we go. Years later, now he ain't got shit but fucking YouTube videos complaining. So I don't know. I think Porter needs to fight Ugas again. The young brother said Ugas. I do like a second fight of Ugas. Or if Porter really want to fucking wake up the world, he should fight Lubin. Cause Lubin climbing back up. Lubin got caught with that.
That's 54.
Oh, that's 54. Who was yeah, there's somebody else. I'm thinking about something else right now. But yeah, man, that's about it, yo.
I appreciate you. No, I said obviously you're thinking about something else. Obviously.
Yeah, man. All right, brother.
All right. I appreciate you, man. All right, yeah. She's in the building, yo. She's in the building. She's in the building. What I've been waiting for all day, man. Dejanay is in the building. How you doing, Dejanay? We're gonna bring you. It's so tight. How was that? Was that okay? Was that good?
That's great. Can you see me?
How you doing tonight?
Can you hear me?
Very well. Can they see you is the most important. Yeah. Yeah.
I hope
now,
so.
Why don't he fight Canelo? You know what I'm saying? Might as well move all the way up. Yeah, we see you just fine. You're freezing a bit, though. You got to go to Starbucks. You like to see? We'll wait to see Beam back in. I'll see her start moving in a bit. Yeah. Hey, Valencia. Oh yeah, you in the building, Valencia? What's up? We gonna try another one. Okay, she's on another. Let me delete, get her kicked from the studio, and then let's do this one. How you gonna do it again? Hey, you got some pretty teeth. How you doing?
Oh, thank you. I brush them, you know.
How you doing, Ma? How's everything?
I'm great. I'm so excited. I'm so glad to be on. I appreciate you and your time.
Oh, all the time. Like as I said, you're literally gonna be giving me like a tutorial. I know nothing about marijuana. The only thing I know is OG Kush, and you can roll it and you can put it in the bong. And they say it cures like the shake disease. I don't know, stuff like
Mhm.
that. And it alleviates pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I know.
That's
That's
some
all I
pretty
know.
good basics. What are you talking about? You know a good amount. That's a good
But I
starting
don't
place,
know the
okay?
language though. I don't know the language at all or nothing at all.
Like a terminology. Yeah,
Mm,
it was a bit for me to learn too. I didn't know much about it either until I got like thrusted into it.
mm.
Um, and I was like behind the counter, and people were like, "What's the percentage of THC?" And I'm like, "I have no idea, bro. Do you want it or don't you?"
What
So,
does THC stand for?
THC is tetrahydrocannabinol.
Oh, okay, okay. So
Yeah,
that's the amount of how strong it
cannabidiol.
is.
Huh?
That's about how strong it is.
No, it's just one of the major cannabinoids. The second to that is CBD or
Mhm.
cannabidiol. And those are the two major cannabinoids, but there are over like 540 active ingredients in cannabis and over 100 cannabinoids. So it's kind of hard
So what does CBD
to
stand?
cannabidiol.
Oh,
Yeah.
and what's that? An actual ingredient in the cannabis?
It's another cannabis compound. So there are several different things in cannabis. So there's cannabinoids, there's flavonoids, there's terpenes, and then, I mean, because the research is so new, there's other things that we don't know of yet. So it's definitely an exciting um, field to be in. And there's all this evolution happening around it as far as research is concerned. Although I feel like Israel is light years ahead of us.
Mm.
Um, so it's really cool to be able to see what they're doing, maybe decades ahead of us,
So
and
let's
to
talk,
see what they can produce.
so let's talk about your journey into and exactly what you do in the cannabis world.
Sure.
Oh,
I was
take your
working
time too.
in
Take your
what
time.
happened?
I said take your time too.
Oh, awesome. So I was working in entertainment, talent relations, at a pretty well-known company, and I imagined when I first got the job that it would be amazing, and I'd be like, oh, I get to be on red carpets, and I get to meet all my favorite people, and I was quickly disillusioned, and it was very draining, and I did not enjoy it, and it was not conducive to the quality of life that I wanted to have. And so I transitioned out of that, and I started freelancing as a wellness writer, and doing some work with bloggers and influencers, and eventually found my way through odd jobs working as a hostess at a restaurant. And then uh, I started this blog or this YouTube channel where I would review products because I found out Whoopi Goldberg had a line, and I'm just like, what? Okay, like this is lit. I love Whoopi Goldberg. She's like such an innovator in so many ways. And so for her to come out and be as open as she was about having a product for women that targeted PMS specifically, I think was really great. And I got tired of telling 5, 10 people about it. So I started a YouTube. And then from that, I kind of got just thrown into it, and I wanted to support women. So I started doing photo shoots and meeting different people, and um, like talking at events. And then someone was like, hey, after you meet so many people and you're in the same rooms, someone was like, the dispensary that I'm working at is probably going to be hiring soon, and do you want a job? And I'm like, yes. As long as I get to communicate with people and talk to people about weed and learn more, I want to do that. And at the time, I was debating whether or not I wanted to take this cannabis certification course, and I decided that I would. And as soon as I got hired, the girl or the woman that was managing the store was like, I just finished that program. Nobody else here will take it. oh my God, I'm so glad that you're so interested in learning. And she really, really is such a light, and she was so knowledgeable, and she kept me on point and like just put me on to pretty much everything, every podcast to listen to, every outlet to be aware of. And we kind of went through the course together. And I loved it, and I learned everything that I needed to know about botany, about cannabis science, about compassionate care, and how to interact with customers, what you can say and what you can't say, how you can suggest things, but you can't prescribe them because you're not a doctor or a nurse, how important language is. It was a very interesting time to get in the space as everything was transitioning from this more illicit market industry into this legalized industry. And I say that because I don't believe it's legal. I think right now what we have is more so like a paid access. Whoever has the wallet to participate in this industry can do so.
And what makes you say that? Like, whoever has the money.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like keeping up with any of the news around cannabis right now, you're watching these really big conglomerates lose millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they're not doing it right. They're just not doing it right. And it's really interesting because you have all these people that do run business and have been successful in other industries, but this industry is different because people have a built-in understanding of cannabis. They have their own weed dealers. They know who to go to, and why would I like go to a dispensary and pay for your weed at a 30% tax? Why would I do that? The consumer's way too smart for the industry that they're trying to build and capitalize on because of the illicit market and people who have been doing this for years. They're not going to master growers. They're trying to buy out the little guys and just try to create these just try to create a monopoly on cannabis that I don't think is possible, just because there is such a culture around it, and people are very much invested in what they're invested in, and it's not making white people richer. It's just not. So they're gonna have a hard time.
And what's your role in the cannabis game?
I'm an educator. I grow it at home, so I'm an urban cultivator. Right now, I'm putting together a space where other people can come and learn how to grow cannabis next to fruits and vegetables, the power of other healing herbs. And what else do I do in this space? I do have an educational platform. We're going to be launching merch soon, so I'm excited about that.
Is what?
Self-care is a solo blunt. So we're all in quarantine right now. There's no reason why we should be trying to match. You should be smoking by yourself. Enjoy it, okay? Self-care in the privacy of your own home. Don't put anyone at risk if you don't have to, but also just emphasizing it as a wellness tool and something that we can be open to talk about and it not be stigmatized in the way that it has in the past. I think just like anything that's ours and indigenous to the people, it's like kind of stripped from us and then regurgitated back to us as if we have no understanding of it. And we've had a long history with cannabis, one that predates the war on drugs. Even though a lot of people would think that that's where our story begins. In the same way, with a lot of the way our history is taught to us, you would think that our history starts at slavery, and that's not true. Our genius predates slavery in the same way.
A genius created slavery.
Huh?
You said a genius created slavery.
No, our genius predates slavery.
Our genius creates.
Yes, yes. What we've done in the world, and our
Okay.
contributions to the world, and how brilliant and stellar and amazing we are, predates slavery. And I don't think our history starts there. Just like our history with cannabis doesn't start with the war on drugs.
You know, that's my issue with the term African American. That's why.
Get into it, because I was one of those people. Honestly, when I wasn't before I transferred and I went off to Howard and learned, the ways of the land.
You went to Howard, so you know about the Florida Grill.
Huh?
You know about the Florida Grill.
Oh yeah, come on now.
Yeah, that's my spot.
Man, what's the other one?
That's the only one I've been to.
Is it Ooze and Oz? Or Ben's Chili. Come on, man, take me back. That fish spot on Georgia. All the places.
She said predates. Y'all niggas funny, man. Predate, you know what I mean? That, you know, you got a whole bunch of men in the chat. You know, you got to keep up with the chat too. So feel free to
Oh yeah, let me go. Let me see.
Yeah. So yeah, they talking to you. Predate slavery.
Oh, what's that?
So
wait, predates? I'm confused. Are y'all taking this out of context?
Yes, they take out of context. You're dealing with a bunch of men. You're dealing with a bunch of grown men that are being quarantined on a Friday night. You know what I mean?
It's tough out here. You know, that's why you got to get you a quarantine bay. But yeah, I went to Howard. I love it. I'm gonna be back in the DC area in September.
Speaking tour, or are you going to grad school, or?
I'm going to grad school, actually. It's so funny that you like threw that out there and caught it so quick. I'm going for a degree in medical cannabis science and therapeutics.
At Howard?
No, at the University of Maryland.
Oh, okay. So this is gonna be like a lifelong passageway for you.
Listen, I feel like it's cannabis right now, but I've been talking more and more about surprisingly psychedelics and hallucinogens and the power of psilocybin and different things like that. So it's been really interesting. This journey has led me to a lot of things, which is why I'm excited that I didn't choose like a can of boss or can of this or can of that, because it was never really about that for me. It was more so about cultivating more awareness around the things that you use and why you choose them. And that can be applied to anything. It doesn't have to be just your weed. But if you care about the quality of your weed, you're probably going to care about the quality of the soap you use. You're probably going to care about the quality of the vegetables that you eat. You're going to care about the quality of the relationships you have. So this is just a jumping off point to so many other conversations that need to be had.
So you have a YouTube page, right?
Yeah, I mean, I should post more videos than I do. I'm always surprised.
But we're all going to subscribe. What's the name of it?
Green Goddess Glow. That's the name of everything.
Green Goddess Glow.
Mm-hmm.
You got 12
Aurora
videos.
is September.
You got 12 videos.
Listen, if you don't own
I'm just
asking. You don't control your destiny. Facts.
I just
okay.
Subscribed. Let's see.
Hello, everyone. My name is DJ.
Okay. That's me. That's her.
All right, they gonna go subscribe. You're gonna get some few more subscribers.
Hey, okay, then I mean I gotta post more content. Thanks, y'all. Y'all motivating me right now.
Feel free to go subscribe. So you mentioned like how do you and what's the significance and what's the importance of and how do you grow cannabis next to like fruits and vegetables and what's the legalities around it?
I mean, it's interesting because some people have to fight to grow cannabis in their backyard. Like in New York, they're trying to keep people from growing it at home. And I'm like, it's so interesting to me because when you think about Black people and land ownership and how we basically had our land stripped from us, like I think we own less than 1% of farmland, but we used to be like the only people in fields. Like, how does that make sense? And when we talk about cannabis, it's a real estate game. Ultimately, you can't cultivate, you can't open a dispensary, you can't have an event space for on-site consumption if you don't own property. And so for me, it was really hard because I was like navigating through this entire industry. Most of the time has been about ownership. If I was applying for the social equity program, it was me partnering with investors who wanted to exploit me because they wanted ownership. If I was working with starting a business and like, oh, I have a series of wellness tours, but the overhead cost on renting a bus is way too steep. It's about ownership. And it's like, what do I have? My family has been in the house that I live in or has owned the house that I live in for 3 generations. How do I create a legacy around that? How can I start with what I have and being resourceful? And so I think that there's something that's really empowering about growing your own, especially when so many things on our shelves are modified, especially even if they're labeled organic. If you can get that in your neighborhood and you don't live in a food desert, it's like you really can't trust it unless you've seen that shit grow for yourself. So I think it's really exciting to be in a position to teach and to learn alongside other people. I just not recently, but I learned early on, like, about companion planting and how strawberries love cannabis as much as I love strawberries, and just different things like that that you learn along the way, how interconnected things are. Or if you grow lavender next to cannabis, will it give it more of the linalool terpene? Will that create more of a indica effect in your plant? We don't know. You got to try it and find out.
What's indica? What's that?
So indica is a way to determine
I've heard that
how
term.
the plant grows. It doesn't actually influence how you're experiencing the plant at all. Indica and sativa are only about the plant's physiology. So sativas grow tall and skinny. Indicas grow short and stubby with wider leaves. But it doesn't at all interpret if you're going to feel like relaxed and sedated, or if you're going to feel more energized and creative. That's a myth.
So that's just how it grows. Sativa.
Sativa.
Sativa and indigo is just the
indica, yes.
The size of the plant, basically.
It's just the way it grows. Yeah, that's it.
Simply, it's not the tell you what's the marijuana.
What the physiological effects are going to be precisely.
It does or does not?
It does not. So
what determines the like, I got this purple kush, I got Kirsch OG.
And you know, it's funny.
What's that?
It's funny you ask that, because you could have one person grow that same strain and another person grow it and get totally different responses. It really depends on the ratio of CBD to THC, if there's CBD in there.
If I'm allowed to look at the chat, that is not because of that. Yeah,
I'm looking at it too. Okay. She don't know what's up. Listen, don't blame me. She just called that a myth. It is a myth. So it's determined by the THC ratio to CBD. It's determined by the flavonoid makeup. They say mostly it's determined by the terpenes, which are the essential oils of the plant, which is similar to other herbs in nature. So lavender is directly correlated to linalool, and you see lavender everywhere used as like a sleep aid, and is very similar to what the chemical compound we see in cannabis.
So when you grow it at home, can you sell it, or does that need a permit?
You need a permit to sell it. So I see someone said basically you got two different types of weed, indica and sativa. That is what they're classified as. Yes, they're classifications, but they have been crossbred over a long period of time. Nobody was checking for what they were. And so what we have on the market today is classified as a hybrid. Everything on the market is a hybrid. So in order to know what is in your cannabis and what the terpene profile is, you have to get it tested.
The only sativa I know is Jhené Aiko's song. That's it.
Hello?
That's it. That's
fresh.
it.
I love it.
And I love that song too. But so when you
come on, Corey in here with the no, he talking about phenotypes. Come on. Yeah.
Female types. What do you mean?
Phenotypes.
What's that? I don't know the marijuana terminology, so assume that you're.
We don't have to get into that. I feel like
no, we can't.
Boring,
no, it's actually because they're very intrigued. I mean, they're very intrigued. Everything you say is new to me. Like Patty Dean just said, I like lavender. What's lavender?
Huh?
Patty Dean said, I love lavender. What's lavender?
I mean, as we should. Lavender is a herb. I'm pretty sure you've had lavender in something.
I thought it was a type of marijuana. That's what I thought.
Oh no.
Oh,
We're
I've
just
had
talking
a
about regular
lavender
lavender.
before. Oh, I've had a lavender. Oh, she's not talking to me. I guess she's talking to someone else in the chat. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I know
okay.
I gotta get out of the chat. Sorry. It can
I'm
steal you away. You just like, what is that?
I guess she's having a private conversation public, I guess. You know what I mean? So you're actually growing it now.
Yeah, so it's been really interesting for me because I am not like perfect at it by any means. I think I've gone through this process maybe like 2 or 3 times. Like from over the 9 month term. And so it's been really interesting to get connected to the plant and to really go through that whole process and learn from my mistakes and see where I want to grow and do better. But I'm really glad that I've been able to connect with people that are master growers and have been doing this for generations and to be able to learn from them.
So how much can you have at home? Is there a limit?
I think it's 8 plants. It's 6 to 8 plants. I don't remember.
How much marijuana is that? 6 to 8 plants. Like in
How
pounds.
much can it yield?
Yeah. How much can one plant yield? Great word, yield.
That's a good question. It depends on how you grow it. Because if you don't grow it correctly, you could come out with little tiny ass buds. But if you grow it and it's nurtured and it gets all the nutrients and the sun and everything that it needs, and you're feeding it all the weird shit that it likes, like fish bones and worms and whatever else, then it could grow and yield a good bit.
Valencia had a question for you. I should open up the phone lines too. We can open up the phone lines.
I know. Is she gonna call in? Who calling in?
This is like literally all new information for me. So I just missed her. She basically said, what are some misconceptions? But before that, what does one plant grow? I'm sorry, I missed that.
How much does it yield?
Yeah, how much does it yield? Yeah, the great word again.
I'm not sure, actually.
Maximum, like
maximum.
Yeah, a half a pound, 8 ounces.
Probably. It's funny that you asked that because I should know. I was like that girl that was like in hotels trimming weed at one point, and I'm just like, God damn, this takes a lot of time and effort, huh?
You said tripping weed? What's that?
Trimming.
Trimming?
I used to be a trim girl, yeah. I had a lot of odd jobs in this space. Huh?
So you was working with a trapper?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of my significant others in the past have been trappers. My dad was a trapper.
Really?
Yeah. For a long time when I was growing up, I thought the smell of his cologne was just like pungent and like fragrant, and I loved it. And as I got older, I'm like, nigga, that's weed all this time. So for a long time, my association with cannabis, I thought it was my dad's cologne, which is always funny.
Okay, Valencia said, what are some misconceptions about marijuana that aren't true and misconceptions that you wish were true?
One that we talked about, that indica and sativa is going to determine how you feel, which is not true. I hate when people say that CBD is non-psychoactive, because that's also not true. It's a non-intoxicant. It's definitely changing your brain chemistry, which means it is psychoactive. Another myth that I hate is that people think that they have to get high. You don't. You can use cannabis and not feel intoxicated or under the influence at all. And then the last one, and I think the most important, is that people don't understand that it's a part of us. And people think, oh, I don't want to take in this foreign entity into my body. And it's like, little do you know, your body creates the same chemicals. So it's not anything foreign. If anything, the only thing you're doing is replenishing what your body already makes.
And those chemicals are?
Your endocannabinoid system, probably the largest neurotransmitter system in your body. It was only discovered in the 1990s. It helps regulate all the other systems in your body. So your endocrine system, your immune system, your reproductive system, literally every major system in your body is regulated by your endocannabinoid system.
And that's what's in marijuana?
Yes, cannabis produces cannabinoids.
But and that's only if it's grown naturally, right?
Well, they're synthetic cannabinoids. The US government actually has a patent on synthetic THC, and they've had it for, I think, since the 80s or the 90s. If you know anything about Marinol, they've been selling it as Marinol since the 80s or the 90s for AIDS patients, and they hate it. Like, AIDS patients was like, this, I might as well just go smoke weed because y'all didn't get it right. So it's really interesting that it's still a Schedule I drug, but they were able to patent a synthetic version of it and sell it on the market.
Charab says Wowie, WOWIE Maui is the best weed for me.
Oh, it's so good. I think that was the first sativa I ever smoked. Maui is the truth.
So why don't y'all, Valencia, why don't you just call in? How about you just call in?
Girl.
Call in. Someone start the phone
paragraphs
call.
Writing.
So is there different levels to like highness in marijuana? Like, so when you buy this kind of marijuana, it has this level of THC, CBD in it. This one has different levels.
I think so. I think that there's definitely someone asked, I think it's an important question, can I still lose my job if I smoke in states that are legal? It depends. If it's a private company, they could do whatever they want. So that answers that question. And then it does matter. I think that for me anyway, for those I like sun grown, which is problematic. Some people are like, nah, I like light depths. I like when you can get those big, pretty buds with the color and, the THC level real high, them gon' sales. I need that Gorilla Glue. I'm not her. I like it grown outdoors with the ladybugs and all the other herbs, and, they're sustainable. It's like going to Whole Foods for weed. That's the type of weed I like. And it doesn't have to have CBD, but I do think that when you have that ratio in there, that a lot of people have a more balanced cannabis experience. And there are some strains that are just stronger than others. Definitely those that are classified as sativa are definitely going to have more of those terpene profiles that are more energizing. And have those citrusy notes. So I like those a lot. And I usually go for those, like the company I work for, they're based out of Northern California, and they grow in the sun, and they grow in a volcanic ash at a really high altitude, which means you're getting really good sun exposure. And they only grow mostly Hawaiian strains because they have the volcanic ash in the soil. So some of the best Hawaiian strains I've ever had. And I'm like, this is why I fuck with y'all.
Why you fuck with who?
With the company that I worked with. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you're fine. It's called Aster Farms. I like it a lot.
Okay. So the flavor of the marijuana comes from the ground, or it comes from you pushing it in like a food coloring?
No, the flavor comes from genetics. So, like there are different cannabis genetics, and the seeds are actually what are going to determine like how it grows, I feel, but also like the way you nurture the plant. And she's an educated drug dealer. I love it. They better be educated, because you got a lot of uneducated drug dealers, and that's why people are in the position that they in, thinking they taking something that's gonna heal their body, and it's not. Is it even alkalizing your body? No, it ain't doing nothing but minimizing symptoms, which is a problem. We got to stop doing that. We need to have more preventative healthcare. But that was funny. What was I talking about? But yeah, so terpene profiles, and that's why I feel like it's so important for cannabis to be out in nature, because nature and Mother Nature knows what she's doing. She knows how to create the best, most beautiful buzz. And when we're talking about effects and what you feel and how it tastes, those flavonoids, all that comes from the plant having to defend itself from all of these what is it? All of these like pests, essentially, like all the things that happen outdoors, it has to build this defense mechanism. And for us, that's a great thing, because then it bulks up, it gets this flavor profile that we like. And I just don't think you could ever really replicate that indoors. But we like man-made things, and man is always going to find a way to manipulate nature for profit. So that's what we have.
So do you buy special seeds?
I have been gifted like generously. Like I've been gifted Purple God's Gift, which is really hard to find. I've been gifted other seeds that I haven't put in the ground yet, because I'm like, I'm gonna wait until I get to this certain level of being able to grow to plant these, because I want them to be perfect. So I have a lot of different seeds that I've been collecting, actually. And what you can do is go to a dispensary, especially in LA, and get a clone. Like, you don't even have to grow it from seed. You could just buy the clone, dress that baby up in a 5-gallon pot. Huh?
What's a clone?
Clone.
A clone.
Yeah.
How do you clone? Okay, got a call.
Hey.
Double check the B12.
Double check the details. I had to give him his intro. Eyes where I can't sleep well. What's popping?
Yeah, what's good with it? It's Sam Fresh. What up with it? Green Goddess, what it do?
What's good?
Nothing much, man. I see you talking about the differences between sativa and indica, right?
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I think that's really cool about both of them is just the differences in the levels, like you were talking about, between the CBD and the actual THC that gets you, that euphoric high. And a lot of people don't understand that in your mind, you know what I'm saying? Really all in your mind. Because there's people who can smoke certain strands of weed and they don't really feel that much. You understand what I'm saying? Even if you are inhaling properly. And then there's people who they smoke it one time and they, you know what I'm saying? They hook. You understand what I'm saying? Like it really gets them super duper high. And I wonder, when it came down to the Hawaiian weed, did it give you more of a laid back type of high, or did it give you more of a creative high? Because people forget, some of the most smartest and most brilliant, you know what I'm saying, entertainers, athletes, musicians, Bob Dylan to your Sam Cooks, your Jimi Hendrix, all these people were geniuses in what they do. They smoked on that herb, so
listen, your Louis
Armstrong for you is basically what I'm asking.
For me, it really comes down to intention, and that's why it's so interesting when people talk about indicas and sativas, because I've smoked sativas and been ready to go to bed, because that was my intention. Like, I smoked it, I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna journal, I'm gonna be creative for like a few seconds, and then I'm going to dream state. So it really just comes down to what my intention is when I use it. And right now I've been a lot more into infusing foods, because cooking has been like my number one self-care go-to since we've all been in quarantine. So I literally make all the weed butters, all the weed oils, and I can tell you, I never know how it's gonna hit. I really don't. It's all trial and error. But when I'm smoking, it's usually if it's in the evening, it's with the intention of sleeping, which means I'm gonna go with more of those indica strains, because they do have more of the qualities that's going to get me there. And then with the Hawaiian strains, I do get way more of a creative, uplifting, elevated feel. And that's also just because that farm specializes in sativas. So that's their thing. mostly produce sativas. So that's like even their what is it that I like a whole lot? They have a strawberry banana that's really good, and they just came out with this ice water hash, which I'm like, their white buffalo is fire. Like, yeah.
How do they make? Are these flavors?
These are strains, yes, or cultivars.
Yeah, those are different strains. Definitely, the best strains that I've tried, Fred, when I was younger, especially when I was a teenager, was Northern Light.
Oh, that one will put you out.
Off the chain. But see, Sour Diesel, it was 350 back
Sour
then just
diesel
for an
fire
ounce. That's
too,
what,
yes.
you know what I'm
Sour
saying?
Diesel.
It was so tasty though. Like, oh, it was so good though.
It's purple.
But I don't even smoke like that no more. That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. But if I was to get back into smoking for medicinal, purposes, what do you think in the market today suits that perfectly? Besides just your typical, your CBD oils, but I'm talking about something that you can actually inhale that can not only heal the mind, but heal the body, the spirit, like everything. Like what's the number one for you?
Well, I mean, inhalants are hard because right now we're dealing with a public health crisis that has a lot to do with our respiratory system. So smoking is probably the least thing that I would suggest, especially stay away from vapes because we just don't know the effects of vapes. Like they're very new, and especially concentrates, and you got people cutting things and you don't know what's in it. And vitamin E oil, we don't need that. So I'm always like, try topicals if that suits your lifestyle. If you're an athlete, go for topicals. You need to be able to bounce back quickly. And you need like recovery balms. If you're more so somebody who wants to feel it more in your body and you know that you have the time to really enjoy that experience that's going to last 6 to 8 hours, then I say go with edibles. But it's really just what suits your lifestyle best. And if you just want something quick and smoking is like your way to go, then there's so many options. It's really just about educating yourself on what best suits you where you are. And I hope that that was helpful. But you said you were looking to do what? To just get back into it for the medicinal purposes? I just don't imagine niggas gonna be trying to take tinctures. So yeah,
I was just saying, just for anybody else that was maybe in the chat, and even myself too, like if I was to get back into it, what are the really good medicinal ones? Like the ones that don't just necessarily, focus on just getting you super high, like which one is actually that you could take in moderation. Because I always remember anything can be abused. If you take something 30 or 40 times a day, you're going to fuck around and mess yourself up and cloud your judgment and everything else.
We abuse sugar and caffeine every day.
Yeah, that's really, really big. Before I go, I wanted to break this down too, because I do remember that I can recall from the top of my head, sativa is taller and slimmer and has a longer and thinner type of strand. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and it's more of a head high, and it has like a alertness, and it's more uplifting and euphoric for the mind. You understand what I'm saying? And it's very, very, it has a longevity effect is basically what I'm saying. Like when it comes to creativity and increased energy, and it's best used for the daytime. More nighttime is indica, which has like a shorter and bushier type of look to it, with more of a crystal type of look to it, and shorter and wider. And it's more of a body high relaxation, the appetite stimulator, the one that you see people smoke, pretty often, if that makes any sense. It's more of a sleep aid, pain relief for nighttime use. Yeah,
I agree. And I think that now we're using indica and sativa for just to educate people. I think that as the consumer evolves and learns more, they'll be able to have that conversation about terpenes. But I live in California. I don't think when I was in Mississippi, I couldn't even find great weed. So I don't think that like a conversation that people are having in like different states. So I think that I appreciate you for identifying that for people. And I think that that's something that they can take away from this.
Well, I appreciate that, Green Goddess. And in closing, I wanted to say that you're very, very smart and educated, and we need more Black women like yourself who are young, vibrant, beautiful, successful to be on a platform like what Fred is having you on. And I just feel like it's good to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to be uplifting the Black youth, especially young Black girls and everything. I just think it's really, really a good move on your part. So that's dope that you're educating people, because a lot of people are ignorant to weed. Let's keep it real. Everybody think it's just going to get you stupid high and you're going to make dumb decisions. That's the narrative. You understand? I mean, that's the narrative that's been put in media, you know, shaming Black men and Black women for smoking. You know how it go. But anyway, I appreciate you, Green Goddess. Thank you very much. And by the way, are you foundational Black American or are you East African? I'm just very curious because you have like
East African, like where? So it's funny that you asked that.
Like you look like you're Chadanian. Mm-hmm.
Oh, put me on. I gotta check my National Geographic, because when I did it, somebody else did that to me in the elevator once. They were like, "Are you Utopian?" And I was like, "What?" And they were like, "Are you Utopian? Are you Kenyan?" And I was like, that's what my National Geographic said. My National Geographic said mostly Kenyan, but maybe, what is it? Chilean? What is it?
Yeah, Chadanian. Yeah, Chadanian.
Kenyan might be in there too.
It's right
I'm gonna check for it.
Right next to Eritrea, where Nipsey Hussle originated. It's right there. It's like right there. Kenya, Ethiopia, all that. Yeah.
That's popping. I hope so.
I'm going to fall back into the chat. Thank you, Fred, for letting me get on this platform doing my thing, and I appreciate you, Green Guys.
All the time.
Peace.
All the time.
Peace. Yeah, I need to get to the continent for real. They got too much fire over there. Some of the best strains have come from African soil.
Really?
Swazi Gold.
Someone just asked that question too. Like, what are some international strands, like some other country strands? Feel free to call in. I can't keep up with these questions, y'all. So feel free to call in.
I know there is so many.
I know I literally can't keep up. So if your question is not getting asked, it's not because I don't want to ask it. All right. It's not because it's just too many. You know what I mean? And you're talking to a novice, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, I'm the expert. I'm learning as I go. So I don't even know like the terminology. Say it again, please.
Listen, I'm a novice just like you, Fred, actually.
I know. That's a good one. I know. I'm trying to go through the questions.
Funny.
I used to have to go to Goleta for some. So, okay, someone asked, is it better to digest or smoke it?
I like digestion, and it's really great. I love that someone asked that, because prior to contact, African contact, it was only ingested, but it was
a quarter or something. Yeah, help me out, please. No, I'm telling them, super chat your questions. Like, donate a quarter, donate 10 cents, so we can ask it, or call in. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm missing all your questions.
Fred.
Thank you.
Right, you gotta incentivize me. Ask all these questions.
I know.
But what was I saying?
All right, cool.
I was saying something.
1 second, about digesting versus smoking.
Oh, ingestion. So prior to like African contact, it was just ingested, but it was actually Africans who created the first water pipe. So you can attribute that to one of our many brilliant creations. So the bong is our original apparatus. We created that, and this was published by Harvard. Like, it's not something that I just made up and pulled out of my ass. Like, there is actually a study that speaks to the African contribution to cannabis and how it was globalized, and that was to us, because what do? We create culture. That's what we do.
You have a caller. 310. What's up?
What's goody? It's Valencia. Hi, y'all.
Oh.
Hi.
Hey, Valencia.
Hey, okay. So my question is, you mentioned weed being a part of us, that our bodies produce within weed. Is there anything that's added to it that our bodies don't produce?
There can be. If you're not buying cannabis that has been tested, then you might be smoking and inhaling pesticides. You might be, if it's not cured right, you might be smoking and inhaling mold. So that's why it's so important to be very much aware of where your cannabis comes from and who's growing it and with what intention. Because another thing is, you have a lot of big players moving into cannabis like Monsanto. Like, why the fuck do we need the people who have a monopoly on corn in wheat? Why do we need you to grow cannabis? We already know y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all genetically modifying everything. So I think that it's really important for us to value where we get our cannabis and what we're ingesting, because you can be ingesting things that are just not made for your body. Like, we should not be having anything that's synthetic or not natural in our body in general. And that goes for fruits, vegetables, herbs, adaptogens, whatever it is.
Okay, so how is the testing actually done? Do you know?
So the testing is done by the state. So when they created the system, and this is how fucked up it is. Well, it's not fucked up, but it's really interesting. So it used to be where these small scale farmers, these growers, maybe in Humboldt, on the Emerald Triangle, wherever, they have been growing weed or have been growing weed since like the 60s. Who knows how long these niggas have been growing? Forever. And they have these great skills. It's a family tradition. They've been doing this for forever. And so what they would do is grow it in their backyards, their front yards, whatever yards. And then they would take it straight to dispensaries because they were able to have, because Prop 64 or whatever, they were able to have these collectives. So they would take it straight to the dispensaries and they're like, okay, this is what I grew and this is what you're getting or whatever. And so what happened is when it became legalized, granted, everybody wasn't a great grower. So I'm pretty sure y'all heard of Reggie. That's because somebody was out there growing some trash. But when they decided to legalize it, what happened was they put these different supply chains in place. So there's the grower, then the grower has to take it to a distributor. The distributor has to get it tested. Then it has to come back to the distributor, and then the distributor takes it to the dispensary. So there's no way that the grower can now take it directly to the dispensary, which is, I mean, fine, but to be able to go through that amount of testing and to have a distributor actually push a product has been really hard for brands. So the testing comes from those distribution partners that the testing labs have relationships with. And there are a lot of testing labs. There's SC labs. There's what is the other one? There's another really big one that's out in like Ventura or something. So yeah, they're around.
So how is it possible that so many different types of weed can remain natural? Because I remember growing up, it wasn't as many different types as there are now. Now there's something to cater to some of everything. There's a million different flavors, a million different ways that they make you feel. How is it even possible that many can remain natural without something being added to it to make it different?
Yeah, that's a great question, because it's been, again, everything is a hybrid and they've been crossbred for THC content for so long that we actually have to just assume that what people are saying it is actually what it says. But now they have tests where they can look at the full genetic makeup of a plant and determine where it came from. But it's really great to know what those like land races are and what their lineage is, which is why it's so important to talk about really well-known strains that come from, like Durban poison, for example, that's from South Africa. We know that to be true, and it's so pungent and delicious. But there are some things that we know have just been around for a really, really long time. But then what you have is now you have all these people want to collaborate with rappers. So they're taking something that was probably a purple Urkel or whatever, and they're renaming it after some rapper. And it's like, what is the genetic makeup of that? What is it actually crossed with? Also, if you don't understand Leafly as a resource, you can go online and see what the origin of the cannabis that you're using is, what it's crossed with, other people's reviews. So there are resources out there, and Leafly is one of them.
Okay, the bad rap about weed. I know I asked about the misconceptions, but like something that you really can't stand about it, that it's definitely true in that pit. And what would that be? Like something that people say about it that it is true, but you don't really want to go there.
That it can cause psychosis. That's one of those things that it's really hard to navigate, and that it can help with mental health. It's really hard to navigate. Like, I come from a family where mental illness is very much a part of all of our lives. Like, I grew up with a bipolar grandmother for a long time. Like, my family thought maybe I was predisposed to have it. I don't. Who knows? Maybe the weed helped. I don't know.
Maybe we all have a little.
Maybe. But I've been trying to get my granny to just like sit in CBD baths, and just I want to get her here so I can massage her feet with CBD recovery balm. And there are just all these studies that come out about all the health benefits of using cannabis for Parkinson's, or as an anticonvulsant, or people who suffer with seizures, or now people are trying to sell it as some damn CBD weight loss tea. There's just so many ways to use it that excite me, but also creates this type of reservation in me that's like, can we slow down and can we learn a little bit more about it before we jump to that conclusion? Because I would hate for anything I gave my grandma to counteract with the medication she's already taking. And even if it is used for weight loss, it's like, can we not make this another flat tummy tea? Things like that.
Yeah. Which is what's going on. I think with that, what is that, ISO weed or something?
Please don't bring it up. Don't even give them no time. Stresses me out.
Yeah. So, okay, last two questions. Who would you recommend weed for, and what's the safest way to actually take in weed for your body?
I think the safest way.
You don't smoke weed. Who would you say, like, you don't smoke it? You shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I say, like, for you, for example, I'm like, oh, you don't smoke, but you might enjoy a bath bomb. I know that might be your vibe, and I love bath bombs. How do you say no to a bath bomb? It's about meeting people where they are. If you want something fast acting and you want something for sleep, there's CBD sleep capsules. I take them, and they have 1 milligram of melatonin. They're hemp. They don't have any THC. For people who do want to try something that does have a little bit of THC, I say try it as a ratio, where you get 3 parts CBD and 1 part THC, so that you can work your way up to a THC tolerance instead of starting with edibles. Like, everybody doesn't need to have that hallucinogenic experience in order to use cannabis. It can be fully hemp. It can be just CBD if that's your thing. I always say it works better in this entourage effect where you have CBD and THC working together, because that is the way that the plant grows, and that's how it should be ingested.
All righty. Well, I am going to bow out gracefully now, and I just want to say, you already know that I am not for it due to my own experience. However, I love your passion for it, and that you're taking the time to get to know your stuff and share it, so that those who are not educated about it can at least know why, who, what, when, and where.
Yeah, and there's always alternatives. Like, if you need it and you want to concentrate or be creative, go get your ass some ashwagandha. Go learn about Makuna. Go learn about melatonin for sleep.
Because a lot of people just doing things, but know something about what you're doing.
Yeah.
All righty. Bye, y'all. Bye, Fred.
Appreciate you.
Bye,
Thanks, V.
I'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate
for
you.
sure.
Hey, if you go to her if you go to the YouTube page that I post, go subscribe to a YouTube page, and it'll take you right to her Instagram. All right. So do it. So do it that way. Yeah, we out here. So what's stress? I remember when I was in college, a lot of college kids felt stress, and they say they got headaches.
Oh,
I remember that.
That's a good question. I feel like what I grew the first time I ever tried to grow weed was stress. It had seeds. I don't even think I cured it right. I was like, I think this not good. Stress is any weeds is just not good. That's what it is.
Oh, really? So it's like cheap weed. It's like
Basically, it's not like a particular thing. What does scare me though, and what I learned about when I moved to DC that I didn't even know was real. What is that shit called? Somebody help me. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Um, it was something crazy, and they would have it on billboards, and I was like, "What is this? This cannot be real." It was a synthetic weed. And they only had it in
synthetic mean
K2.
huh?
K2. It was
Okay.
literally like something they were selling gas stations and liquor stores. And you'd be like, what is this? This don't even look like weed. And that is scary. I think that's more scary than stress. At least stress was bad weed, huh?
I said Charab asked. I appreciate you coming back, Charab. I'm glad you didn't take me too serious last time. Thanks for coming back. Do you recommend Sherm for Fred?
To what?
Sherm. Do you recommend Sherm?
Sherm?
Yes.
Embalming fluid? Is this a real question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a real question. Do you recommend Sherm for Fred?
I'm so confused. Somebody did not embalming fluid? No. Are you dead? Why would you ingest that? No. Why is somebody trying to kill you, Fred? Somebody is trying to kill you. And it's not funny. It's not funny.
So Sherm is a wet daddy, right? Sherm is what they appreciate you, Valencia. Sherm is a wet daddy, right? Sherm is what they put on cigarettes and weed, right? They dip it, right? Is that Sherm?
I don't know what that is.
I am so naive when it comes to the actual drug. I grew up around it, but I'm naive to it as to like what exactly it is. You know what I mean? That wet daddy.
Sherm is embalming fluid that they put in dead bodies. And I have never ingested that, nor would I ever. And I had a friend whose dad was actually murdered because his best friend was high off of Sherm and murdered him. No, I would never suggest that for anyone. What is that? That's not for human consumption.
Yeah, I know, Reg. I know it's a wet daddy and all that shit. Sherm is PCP, right?
Whatever it is, I'm not doing it. Does it grow out of the ground? I'll do shrooms, but I won't do that.
Okay. We'll get into shrooms in a second too. What's up, DB?
What's going on? What's up, Miss GGG?
Hey.
Can you hear me well?
Oh, very well.
I can. We can hear you.
All right. Right on. Where are you from?
Me?
No, the girl sitting next to you. Yeah, of course you.
I like it. Feisty. I'm from South Central LA.
All right. Where do you go to school at?
I went to, you want to know all the school? I went to Audubon for middle school, and then I went to Washington for high school, and then I went to Westchester.
Okay. So she had some hood and some prep, huh?
She lived on Main. You lived in the avenues, huh?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I grew up on 52nd and Hoover.
52nd and Hoover?
Mm-hmm.
I do Hoover.
Hey.
Grooving, huh? Right on. All right. And you said, where did you go for undergrad? To Howard?
Yeah.
Good. And what did you study in undergrad?
I studied psychology and journalism.
Psychology. Yeah, you seem like the type. That was a joke.
That's funny.
Yeah, Hey, but anyway, my question was, how do you feel about all those guys and gals who are serving, long-term sentences for marijuana cases from 10, 15, and 20 years ago when it was illegal in most states?
I don't I think the intentions behind prisons were very methodical. So I think that it's not surprising that they would take something that was so sacred and so well known to be used by our communities and use it against us. You know, when you think about even something as influential as the jazz era, a lot of those artists and those musicians were using cannabis. And I don't know if you guys watched that documentary by Fab Five Freddy, but they were using it and it would help to slow things down so that they could hear the music more clearly. But it seemed like it was moving so fast to everyone else, but that's because the niggas was high and they were just going off of the vibe that they were trying to create. And I think Louis Armstrong had one of my most favorite quotes around why he was using cannabis, and he used it as medicine. And he was talking about this back in the 1930s, which was probably not as publicly known as it is now or voiced. But they started locking us up for it back then. And then they found a way to really to use it to their advantage in the 60s. They didn't want these alternative hippy dippy groups basically fighting the status quo, and they didn't like what the Black Panthers were about, and so they had to find a way to demonize the plant, demonize people who use it. And it's not surprising that now all of a sudden it's legal and it's something that's healthy and it's something that's worth investigating and researching. Like I said, they're going to take things that are indigenous to us that we have mastered and been masters of for millennia, and then they're going to regurgitate it to us as if we didn't know this. So all the time that Black people have been using cannabis, at no point were they using it for medical benefits. At no point, because they couldn't have health insurance, were they using it for stress relief. At no point were they putting it in alcohol and applying it to their bodies because they knew about the medicinal applications. There's so much of our history and the richness of what we have to offer, especially when it comes to our health and wellness, that was hidden from us in a kitchen. And that cannabis is no different. So it's not surprising to me. I hate the prison industrial complex. I hate what it's done to our family structure, what it's done to us as a people. And they're definitely going to uphold that. It would be, can you imagine if they appealed all of that? I have seen a lot of it where they're releasing it's 40,000 people. And then it's like, okay, but what does reentry look like? How do we have those conversations? Who is providing jobs for those people? Who's going to support those people? And so now you're hearing a lot of these conversations about reparatory justice, and we need to free all these people from prisons, last prisoners projects. And it's like, great, but are these people from the community? Are they in the community? Are they providing jobs? Are they now providing shelter? What are they going to do about the growing homeless population? Most of those people are either mentally ill, veterans, or are recently out of prison because they don't have reentry programs. So it's a really interesting conversation to be had. Yes, changing legislation is really important, but thinking about how we get these people out and operating in this industry and securing livelihood for these people beyond just getting them out of prison is an ongoing conversation that we need to have. And I love being a part of those conversations with groups like Green Believers, who have been doing reentry for the last 10 years, if not more, in South LA off of Central. So it's great to see.
Don't say South LA. You got to say South Central if you're from here. The other folks say South LA.
South Central, you know what's up.
All right, right on.
How to grow up in South Central?
Sounding like
listen, because that's the real segment.
Dude, before you ask that next question, DB, make sure you invite her back so we can talk about Joe Biden and the prison industrial complex.
100%. Absolutely.
Listen.
So my next question is, you do believe that Mary Jane serves medicinal purposes, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So what do you think the legal age of a person should be to be introduced to or able to consume marijuana?
That's a hard question.
Hit you right there in the kisser,
Because, huh?
I said, pow, hit you right there in the kisser, huh?
It did. It was like, it was like that Idris Elba moment. Like, goddamn. Because I started very late in high school, maybe my first year of college, and I thought like, okay, I'm just blowing blunts, going to class, watching the Olympics. This is beautiful. I'm getting straight A's. I'm doing everything I need to do. And then I transferred to Howard, and my relationship with cannabis got very toxic. I went through this depressive bout, and I was like, God, all I want to do is go to class and wear sweats and smoke weed, and that's it. I don't care about nothing else. And I thank God that it was cannabis and it wasn't like alcohol or it wasn't anything else I could get on campus like Adderall or Coke or whatever. Because and it really took me facing my own inner demons to be able to come out of it, take some time away from it, and then reapproach it with a better intention and a better understanding of what it could do and what those medicinal properties were. So as far as age is concerned, I think you should be an adult. I think 21, I think it's 18 right now, but 21 is a great age. It's not good for those that are in those developing ages unless they do have some type of medical need for it. So yeah, I think that the 21 and over age limit or age standard, whatever, is a good place.
Right on, boy. You are very thorough with the answer, and I really like that. So now I want to have a little bit of fun with you, if you don't mind.
I'm ready.
Now I want to have a little bit of fun with you, if you don't mind.
I'm ready. I'm listening. What's the fun?
Okay, I'm like a long pause. I'm like, work with me. All right. Does smoking weed make sex better?
Oh, I did a whole video about this on my YouTube, and I did a study. Oh, I'm really glad you asked that. So, National Masturbation Day is May 28th, and last year around the same time, I did a study where I had to use all these different cannabis products, and essentially I didn't have a partner at the time, so I had to have sex with myself. And so it does make sex better. It makes sex better in your bed. It makes sex better in hotel bathrooms. It makes sex better everywhere. So yes, you should be using cannabis as an aphrodisiac. I support it.
Okay. Next question is, once you are high, you have the munchies, what is the best thing to snack on?
Oh, so my favorite cannabis snack is probably, that's a good question because most of what I eat is a cannabis snack. Like literally it's infused. But I usually have a sweet tooth. Like yesterday, I had dinner with a friend, and we ingested using wheat butter on, the Cheesecake Factory's pumpernickel bread. It was great. And by the time dessert came, it was a tiramisu. It was delicious. So I have a sweet tooth. So anything sweet is usually what I go for. That's cookies, that's pies, that's cupcakes. But then I work it off in the morning and I regret it. But it's great. Anything sweet. And I would love to teach weed classes at a community college. I think Southwest is open to it, but they reach a lot of they get a lot of pushback from their board of directors and different things like that. So it's coming. We did a town hall there that was really successful.
All right.
Sorry, that was
What's the greatest? What is the best or greatest song about weed?
Oh, my favorite song about weed. I mean, I like "Good Times" by Styles P. Okay, is that right? Is that his name? It's a classic. I also really like what's another really good one? I like Rosamo by Lucky Day, and there's this other one called Platinum. What is it called? I really like. I have a whole playlist for just smoking weed. It's called "Smoke to This," and it's exactly what I go to every time I want to smoke. "Platinum Fire" by Aaron Ray. It's. I got a lot of them. Actually, I'm looking at them now. Like, I need to get into that.
There's an old rock star or R&B singer. His name was Rick James.
Oh, come on! I know who Rick James is.
Mary Jane.
Oh, come on! That's a classic. What was that?
I can't hear you. Say it again.
What'd he say?
He said, "Have you heard of that song, Mary Jane?"
Absolutely. Who hasn't heard of that song?
Okay. I just wanted to see. You didn't say that song, and I thought that was probably, at least from my knowledge, that's probably the greatest song.
Listen, different strokes for different folks. Okay.
Look at you. All right, and then my final question for you: the best movie about smoking?
Man, that's hard because they all fall into these tropes of what it means to be a cannabis consumer, and most of them are not factual. But I really like Friday. Friday is a classic.
Friday is definitely one. You know Cheech and Chong?
I never watched it, but I know it.
Okay. Yeah, for you, a connoisseur of fine cannabis, I think you'd like Cheech and Chong. They have some pretty good movies about marijuana.
Oh, yeah, I need to watch it.
Dave Chappelle also had a really good movie. What was the name of that Dave Chappelle movie?
That movie was horrible. Half-Baked. It was horrible.
There you go.
Dave Chappelle admitted to it being horrible.
Yeah.
But How High was a good one too.
Anyway, listen, I appreciate it. I'm gonna fall back and as Fred said, hopefully you can take some time out. This is kind of like a doctor's appointment. We give you a 30-day follow-up. You got to come back again with us within 30 days to talk about some other
Oh, somebody put the Boosie in the comments. They know my heart.
Right on. Well, anyway, I appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you. See you soon.
Appreciate
Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, with the Boosie.
Well, they in love with your brain. Who are you talking to in the background, by the way?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm not talking to nobody. I was saying thank you to
I thought
him when he was
I'm about to say you can invite them to come on the show too. That's what I was going to say.
I did just get to Palm Springs with a group of girlfriends. So I am here being the turn down queen.
Well, feel
being
free
the Debbie Downer.
Introduce your friends to us.
They in the other room, like.
Okay.
There.
Okay.
You want me to get up?
I mean, I'm doing a service for all the men in the chat. You know what I mean?
I can't.
Shit, they want to be
like, you do not want to be on camera with you.
They want to know. They want to know. They want to, you know. They want to make sure. They want to make sure the grass is greener. You know what I mean? Pun intended. What's up, Asia? What's up?
Hey, how you feel?
I feel great. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Had a question for the young lady, the guest tonight. I didn't get her name. Oh, what's her name?
The Green Goddess, Glow.
Green
Goddess. Okay, that's okay.
I got you
I
next.
apologize for forgetting your name. A couple of questions. Do you feel at some level cannabis, marijuana is addictive?
I think that as humans, we have the capacity to abuse anything. And I don't think cannabis is an exception. But do I think the plant in and of itself is addictive? No. I think that people have addictive personality types. I think that when we think about sugar, when we think about caffeine, when we think about anything that has the potential to change the way we can experience and navigate the world, there's a part of us that may become reliant on that sensation or that feeling. And I think that people can use it for escapism and they can use it for different things. And that's why intention is so important. Do I think it's addicting, to answer your question? No.
Okay. Have you ever tried sun rock or moon rock?
Nope. There are some things I just don't go on the deep end with. And moon rocks are one of them. No.
Why don't, can I ask I'll ask that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Asia. No, I'll write it down. Go ahead. Go ahead, Asia.
Okay. Oh, I was about to ask, have you ever made an appearance on the GNN Snoop Dogg show?
No, I haven't. Listen, Uncle Snoop, okay? I can't wait to meet him. It's a matter of time. I heard one of his ranches or something is like not too far from where I live, and I'm like, oh, he got a spot in the hood. I need to be there. But I haven't met him yet. I think I may have been in the same room as him once before, but haven't met him.
I met him once at a strip club in Philly.
Hey, that's popping. I want that experience.
Yeah. Hey, but
I believe the GNN studio is in South Central, correct? That's
something like that. I don't know.
Oh, you never watched it online?
I mean, I've watched it online, but there's no way to me to know the location from watching it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you plan on opening your own dispensary at some time, in some capacity?
I think that delivery is probably more realistic. I feel like dispensaries are going to become obsolete, especially if this industry can't get it right. People are not going to want to pay the taxes at the rate that they are now. And I think that when I was working at a dispensary, they were making upward in the double digits of thousands every day. And then after legalization, it cut like tremendously, maybe to like half of that. So I think that there are a need for physical spaces. I just don't know that they're going to be dispensaries. I would love, and this is just like idealistic, I would love to have people come into my space, grow it with me, and then take that shit home for free. That's how it should be. In the world that I want to create and I want to live in, I want people to be able to grow it and take it home. And it be something that was a labor of love that we can all experience, and it be healing and everything that we need. And we created it that way.
Okay, even though you probably haven't academically studied it, you revere yourself as a expert botanist.
No, I'm not an expert botanist, which is why I'm really grateful to be in a position to work with, like I said, cannabis farms. One in particular that's based out of out of Northern California that has been doing this for 3 generations, and to learn about their sustainable practices and how they use different insects like ladybugs, and they maintain the ecosystem when they grow cannabis. So that makes sure that the bees have something to eat, because bees are going extinct and we need bees. They're pollinators. They account for majority of the fruits and nuts that we eat. So really just being able to hone in on those sustainability practices and how to create something with longevity is probably most important, because nobody was teaching us. Like, we don't have farmland. How could we learn these things? So we have to learn them from people who have been doing it and want to share that knowledge. So I'm just a student.
I agree. What strands you would say you specialize with?
Oh, I don't specialize in anything. I'm still learning. I wish I did, but I don't yet.
No. Oh, you don't have a preference of strain?
Mm-mm. No.
Oh, you don't have
Not
a
even
favorite
white
wing?
glitter?
Oh, a favorite strand?
Yes, yes.
That's hard. I like so many different things. I think my favorite strand so far that I've ever had, oh my gosh, what? Dream Queen.
Okay.
It's a cross between a blue dream and a space queen. And someone actually sold me on it because they were like, I was driving down the highway and I felt like I smoked this Dream Queen and I turned the radio on and I felt like I was on ecstasy. And I was like, what? I don't ever want to try ecstasy, but I'll try Dream Queen. And it was phenomenal. That's my
Okay,
favorite.
okay. I'm hoping I could get a few strands from you.
Listen, man, all I got is enough to sustain me through this COVID-19 situation.
No, I'm not talking about smoke. I'm talking about for growing.
Oh, like seeds?
Yeah.
I could definitely point you in the right direction of where it gets seeds or clones. Are you in LA?
No, I'm in the Midwest.
Ah, okay. So the seed conversation might be a little different, but yeah, let's connect. You have what is it? My YouTube, and hopefully, I don't even know if you're on Instagram, but my
I just
email.
put her YouTube in there, and it has all her contact information on her YouTube page.
Thank you, Fred. I appreciate
Go
you.
subscribe to her YouTube, and you're gonna get. It's gonna lead you in the right direction.
Yeah, I definitely go subscribe, and
sure.
I'll put my email contact on your YouTube page if that's okay.
Wonderful. I'd be happy.
Okay. All right, Fred. Great guest again. Good
Thank
show.
you.
It is a good show, isn't it? This shit is fucking amazing. Yeah, it is. It is. I ain't gonna even lie.
Oh, Fred,
Very
you're funny.
insightful. Yes, the bumblebees are extinct, so that's real insightful of her to be conscious of that, to understand, the necessity of keeping that something that's that we need. That the bumblebees are real essential to us. Just bees and
The small things matter.
yeah. And I forget the name of those one butterflies that look like ladybugs, red and black. The malincrot. What's the name of those butterflies?
I wish I knew. I'm not an expert on the insect kingdom, but that sounds beautiful. Red and black butterflies.
They called the monarch or something like that.
I'm gonna have to look them up. I want to attract all the insects to my backyard.
Mm-hmm. All right, but I'm about to go and subscribe to your page and.
Thank you.
That's love.
All right, thanks, Fred. Take care, everybody.
Appreciate you, big homie. So why don't you think marijuana is not addicting? Oh, shout out to Big Dog Willie. Shawn will put you in the ER or the psycho ward.
Just why? But I am not gonna lie. At one point, I was very unaware of myself and not really thinking about my body and my life. And I did dip my blunt, but it wasn't in Sherm. It was in what were the kids doing back then? It was something dumb like cough syrup. Like, why would you do this? And I had the spins, and I was like, I don't ever want to experience this in my life. This is horrible.
Do you get withdrawals from marijuana, or you can go 2 or 3 days without doing it?
So tolerance breaks are important. I encourage them. I think that more people should do them. And a tolerance break, it only takes tolerance break.
Break. Gotcha.
Yeah, it only takes 3 to 5 days, 3 to 7 days it's 5 to 7. I think it's 5 to 7. For your body to reset and to essentially to give your body enough time to work through all of what you ingested and to start fresh with cannabis. So that's why it's really hard for me to understand I do get dependency. Because there are times I don't smoke and I get super agitated. Like I went to Bali last year and I didn't take weed with me. And I found that I was super agitated. I just had a short fuse and I just did not have time for people. And that was something that I had to bring to my awareness and be like, okay, is it because you haven't been smoking your weed? And if that's the case, you really need to work on it because that's not cute. And honestly, I don't smoke as much weed as people would think I do. I don't smoke every day. Sometimes it's not even every 3 days. Sometimes it could not be in a week at all. So it's really interesting for when people talk about it being addictive, because I've been using it for the last 10 years, if not longer. And there have been times where I've gone months without it. Even longer. And it's just like, it's all about your intention. Why are you doing it? What is the reasoning? Is it controlling you? Or are you controlling it? So I think that that's very important for people to think about. And there have been studies. It's not just me. You can research it that shows that it doesn't have any addictive properties. So there's that.
Triple OG asked, what bumblebee is extinct?
It's not that the bumblebees are extinct, it's they're facing extinction. Bumblebees are not being sustained in the way that they need to, and they could go extinct if we don't provide them with the support that they need. But I don't believe that there are any bees that are extinct. Not that I know of. But they do like weed, which is great.
Okay.
And that was, I'm like trying to figure out where it's published, but I have so Green Goddess Go is a blog. So I post a lot of studies and things that are important to me. I'm like, oh, this is a study people should know about, like the Jamaican moms that have been using cannabis in their teas for like generations. Like it just so happens there are kids in Jamaica that grow up on cannabis and there's nothing wrong with them.
Mm-hmm. Why?
It's because it's culture. It's not something that they've been taught. It's something that's wrong, or something that it's addictive, or something that it's not okay for them. But those moms were drinking this tea and their kids came out fine. And they did these very long studies about how they were birthed and then what they were like as children a few years later. So all these studies I do post on my website because I'm like, I don't want you to get your information from me. I want you to be able to read the research and come up with your own opinion, or to have your own perspective and understanding, because that's what's the most important thing. If I had listened to everybody else, I would think I'm a stoner and I ain't gonna amount to shit. So it's just all about learning and educating yourself.
Why did y'all quarantine in Palm Springs and not like San Diego or Santa Barbara?
Because my friend's grandmother owns a timeshare here, so we're here in the in a loving and safe environment. And so we don't really have to worry about anything. It's just like, oh shoot, the house is there. We could slide through and have a nice little weekend. I'm down.
Oh, because it is Memorial Weekend. Yeah. So y'all come back Monday.
Yep.
That's dope. I totally forgot. Man, this quarantine, it got me. So
yeah, it might look different. It wasn't.
So they dying for me to ask you this question. I got someone asked in the chat about an hour ago, and I got 3 DMs on it. That's why I'm going down. I'm responding to DMs.
And yeah, because I see you looking down like Fred is uninterested.
No, I'm very interested. They too afraid to ask in the chat. You know what I mean? Ooh. So yeah, so they asked me, and I wrote it down. So he said,
"We're gonna segue."
Say it again, please.
But is this where we're gonna segue? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna segue into something different because I'm not sure how much time you have. So it says, last week you said you can tell.
I knew something was gonna come up from last week.
How good. I wrote it down. So how good sex is by a man's walk. Elaborate on that.
I read energy, right? I think we all do, whether we like to admit that or not. We're looking at, maybe it depends on how self-aware you are, but the level of confidence a man has. And it's just like you could look at the physicality of somebody. And luckily for me, I have always upgraded. Like every time. I'm just like, I wonder what that's hitting on. Bigger and better. And I've never been wrong. I don't know if it's like a lucky streak or what it is, but I can usually tell. And I haven't been wrong yet. So that's pretty much what it is. I look and I'm like, I think that could be hidden on something. And oftentimes I'm right. So it's intuitive.
So that's a man having like BDE. Is that what that is?
I guess it could be energy, but it's also the physicality. I look at hands. And I just feel like men that don't have to overcompensate in other ways usually just know what they have to work with and are low key about it. Like, and I'm just like, okay. But I also, like I said, I could just be lucky. I just choose right. I don't know.
Nah, luck never happens once.
It's on purpose. Listen.
Yeah, everything has intent. You know what I mean? You said something last week that caught my attention. And I wasn't just thinking in a sexual way when you said it, although you said it in a sexual connotation. I was like, wow, because I have that same like construct. You said, how you gonna try and like, I think we're talking about orgasms or something like that.
Oh.
And you said, how are you going to know my body if you don't know your body or something like that?
Oh, know your body before you try to talk to me about my
body. Thank you. Elaborate on that.
I think there was this guy. I literally just seen this video the other day who was talking about like whining and about how like if you're a woman's vagina is not like straight, it's like it has grooves. And so like if you're in it, you should be moving too. And there was this whole video and I was like, guys, damn, this man know what he doing. And so I think that it's really, really important for men to be in touch with their own rhythm and just what it is that how they're showing up sexually, and that requires you having a knowing. Like even if you have all the right packaging, it's like it means nothing if you don't know what to do with it. And unfortunately, I've had that experience. Like, dang, you ain't got no rhythm. I could tell you ain't got no rhythm. Are you even in touch with yourself? Because this is not gonna work. How you gonna get in touch with my body? How are you going to speak to me in body language if you don't know how that works? So it's really, really important for men to know.
I've said this so many times on this show because our show often goes somebody says something in the chat and the show just goes into a certain way. Like yesterday was comedy. We had a motherfucking hour-long show on the best comedy skits in the history of comedy. Right?
Oh, I need to
yeah. And so we often I'll use the term derail, but it's not necessarily derail. It's just it's a very like real time type of show. You understand what I'm saying? And especially when we don't have guests on, we just motherfuckers say basketball. Then we start talking about Kobe Bryant. And I say that all the time. A woman will give you the answers to every test you need to take. You understand what I'm saying? And knowing thyself is definitely knowing others. Through yourself, others. I say that. I say that so much. And your girl V is in the chat like, hey, she want to be heard. So let me go through what she's saying. She says bigger and better. LOL. I don't know why that's not funny. Yes, hands. The Sky Asia, whatever that. You probably know what that means. The Sky Asia. The Sky. Oh, she's talking to Asia Math. Okay, I'm sorry. You don't know what by JJ do. Ha ha ha. Okay. So that's them having the side conversations. But yeah. Why is it okay? So you use the term lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it bigger and better because of you, or is it bigger and better because of the partner?
I mean, it's bigger and better. Like it's physically bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like I've ever. And if it's not bigger, it's just better. And I'm just like, wow, I just have been blessed to have really great partners in sex that were. I'm trying to send you this video because it was impeccable, and I'm like, this is what we're talking about. But I
email it to me. You want me to play it?
Oh, I can't. I'm gonna just I can DM it to you because that's what I have it.
Yeah, you could DM it to me.
Because this shit was impressive. I was like, who? Like, yeah, he's speaking the truth right here. But okay. So now that I sent it to you, I can get back to your question. But I whether those partners were male or female, it was really about getting in tune. And I don't think that as I've grown and evolved and learned how to choose better partners, like I've sexually evolved as well. And it's been a learning process. If I had not taken the time to learn my body for myself, I wouldn't enjoy it with a partner. I probably would be stuck in like some sexual trauma or whatever. But luckily for me, oh, there it is. I did the inner work.
I'm gonna play it when you're done. It's only a minute.
I did the inner work so I could enjoy being with a partner.
We're gonna have to probably have you on for that the inner work, because I actually have a woman coming on next Saturday, but that may be too soon because people got to digest you and rewatch the show. But
okay.
let's listen. Wait a minute, what the fuck? Oh wait, the fuck! I didn't know, nigga. I thought you was talking and shit.
Get it. You wasn't ready.
I'm not looking, dog.
Listen, he knows what he's doing. This is
I thought you were talking. I'm gonna read. I'm just gonna read what this nigga doing. We ain't about to watch this shit. All right, we ain't about to watch this shit. You can laugh if you want. Ain't about to watch this. You on mute? Nah, I thought he was about to. He was in front of a mic. I thought he was gonna start talking and shit.
You thought,
man, look, okay, I'm gonna read. No, matter of fact, can you read it? I ain't reading this shit because this nigga might say something that may be out of pocket.
Sure, I'll say it. You ready?
Yeah, I'm about to take this nigga off the screen though. Yeah, go ahead.
Man, look, during sex, y'all don't curve and body. If y'all don't curve and body roll, and that's where y'all mess up. The vagina is not straight. It's a curvy road, fam. So if you're not moving your body to adjust to her insides, it's just not as effective. Stop worrying about looking gay, whatever the hell that means, and practice, just like we be practicing in the mirror, because we do. What does it say? Really love this perfect example that this gentleman here gave y'all right here. Y'all see me body roll for demonstrations, but maybe seeing his movements will really show y'all we love that. And then she talks about not owning the rights and that this is what ladies want. It don't have to be that much. Like that was 5 much. You know he Caribbean. But just being able to be in tune with your body and know how you move through space and time and how you can do that very beautiful sexual dance with someone else is important.
Yeah.
And it's like, I understand women. I am one, but I also understand them. I'm like, wow, I get it. I get it because I've been there. So I'm just like, and I understand men. I've been with men too. So it's just like, it's really about knowing yourself and how your body works. And then you can show it for others in the way required.
So would you consider yourself bisexual or like just a sexual being?
No, I'm definitely bisexual. I mean, that's the term for it. I'm not about to go out here fucking horses. So
no,
one or the other.
But it seems like no. The reason why I asked you that is because it's you don't see the way I see you, how you envision like intercourse is like elevation. I don't see you as just I'm bored, so I'm just gonna
Oh
like
no.
you understand what
I
I'm
know.
saying?
I could do that like no. And even like I've spent so much time, like I've had very long leaps. Like I enjoy sex very much. I really, really do. And it's an act of service for me. And I hope that if someone is not act of service, but it's an act of like we're engaging with one another. So I would hope that the person that is giving um is that's receiving me is receiving me in the way I want to be received. And I want to be received in the way in which that person wants me to receive them. So it's very much
You need to
it's
come on my channel.
engagement.
You need to come on my channel and talk like this and grow your YouTube channel. So many men. Because
That's
no,
what
the
it's
reason why I
all
say
about.
that, no, I'm being dead ass. The reason
It's
why I
all
say
about
that
relationships.
because we're 2 hours and 24 minutes in, and a lot of people aren't gonna
Get
make it to this point.
to that
You,
fire.
you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I
more,
get it.
mm-hmm.
Thank you. I appreciate that invitation. But yeah, our sexual exchanges are very powerful. And I'm pretty sure like somebody else last week was talking about tantric sex and just like energy exchanges. And you were even talking about submission. And I actually been thinking about that a lot since you said it. And I'm like, submission in the way that people think about it, I don't think is correct. I think that there's a yin and a yang energy, and what cannabis, just to even round all of this conversation out, cannabis teaches us about yin energy. It teaches us how to let go and to surrender. And so when I think of submission, I think about surrendering to an experience. And I don't think it has to do so much with dominance, but it does have to do with the feminine energy, which is a yin energy, and how we receive. So, yeah, sex is beautiful. I love it. Like a lot. Like a lot.
Yeah, you just got. I'm surprised people aren't calling into this conversation. But what's the growth in sex? Like, what's been like your started from the bottom. Now we're here.
I used to
Bottom now we're here.
I used to think of sex as a chore. And that's something that I definitely had to work through as I got older. And then I had a partner.
In the meantime, between time, I guess something is on the stove and they got to go get it. But yeah, feel free. I guess something happened with our Wi-Fi too. But feel free to call in and ask the questions, man. I think this is turning into a hell of a show. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. The growth. I ain't gonna repeat that. But oh, she said turn it off. Okay, let me turn it off. Let me kick her out the studio. All right, cool. She'll come back in a second. Yeah, this is the conversation that young men need to hear. I think it's just very, very important. I'll wait till she come back. And then y'all can ask the questions. Because ain't no use of y'all talking to me about this. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's what they I think it's important that you hear from a woman instead of hearing from your best friend, that lies all the time. You know what I mean? I did this, I did that, man. That bitch came 18 times. You know what I mean? What Eddie Murphy say? My bus flipped over 17 times. You back?
I'm back. I'm so sorry. My computer died.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now you got your charger, you back.
Yeah,
So
I'm back. So back where we left off, it was a chore.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was lucky enough to be blessed with a partner that gave me my first vaginal orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, wow, so this is what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very, very in tune with my body. And I was like, okay, great. This is a learning experience. So he taught me a lot more about myself than I think any of my previous partners. And then up until recently, I was really just didn't have any faith in men to give good what's the word I want to use? Fellatio. I was like, okay, this is only reserved to my encounters with women because men just can't get it right. And almost to the point where I was just like, I was literally trying to keep like someone away from even trying to give me head. And I was like pleasantly surprised. And I was like, oh my God, wait, I need to be open to receiving these blessings. And so I've just been blessed with really great partners who've been able to allow me to learn my body and to give me great and phenomenal orgasms, and I do it in return. But on the flip side of that, I've been able to read people and to understand when I'm dealing with someone who may be a selfish lover. Like, don't ask me if you can come 5 minutes after we started. That lets me know that this is the first and the last time. And you can't handle me. So I think that it's really great to be in a space now where I can ask for the things that I want and know that I have standards and requirements, and that if you can't meet those, then I just can't fuck with you for real. Sorry. And I haven't had a whole lot of partners, but the partners that I have been great and have all given me so much insight to who I am and what I require and need, and it's been amazing.
You got to call her. He's back.
Hey, caller.
Yeah, what's up with it, Green Goddess? I'm back. I wanted to ask you a couple questions. This first question is, knowing that you have been very experienced with learning your body, mastering your body, do you feel that your portal to be opened up on that level to be vulnerable? Because a lot of men don't understand that women need to be, emotionally available, and they feel that they can be vulnerable with you and feel secure with you so they can get to that climax. And that can be different type of things, meaning some women, like to be tied up. Some women like to be spanked and all these different things. So what did you find out with your body without maybe getting too explicit, but maybe you want to get explicit, you know what I'm saying? But where do you feel that you have grown exponentially in, I'll say, the last couple of years of just really mastering your body on that scale? On that scale, like, do you feel that you like more aggression or do you like more romance and being, seduced in a way?
Great question. And I really think that it's good for people to answer that about themselves and what they require. I know, and it's different because I think this can go so many ways. So many images came rushing into my mind thinking about answering this question. I'm sorry.
Just answer.
The question was, okay, how did I learn my body? Okay, great. So
take your time.
Yeah, on a personal level, it started for me with yoni eggs. And then I graduated from yoni eggs. And yoni eggs is a very interesting practice because you're putting this crystal literally in your space and you're holding it there and you're learning how to do Kegels and empowering your pelvic floor. And then you have to, if you do yoga with it and then you meditate with it, or you masturbate with it to strengthen your orgasms, you learn all these things about your body. And then with a partner, it was, again, this partner had taught me how like I had never had a vaginal orgasm. I didn't even understand them. And I'm like, oh, wow. So my body responds this way. This is how my body does this. And so I had a really, like a bit of a crash course on my body, but using someone else's. But it was very intentional and I appreciated that. And then I think for what me knowing what I like, I realize that every partner is different. And again, like I said, it's a dance. So really understanding where our bodies meld together and what that looks like is different for every partnership that you go into. I think that with the last woman that I dealt with, she had a very masculine energy about her. And I was just like, wow, I love that even though we're two feminine or two women and we both have the same body parts, that we're able to balance each other and the energy matches. Because I am very feminine. Like I am, and there are parts of me that are masculine. But I just think that with the way that we engaged, it was really great, and it was awesome, and I was able to realize how much I was able to hold space for other people who are going through learning their body for themselves. Because most of the women that I've had encounter with, surprisingly, are not openly bisexual women. Or consider themselves to be bisexual at all. So that is very interesting. And then as far as men, I think that as I've grown, I've started to understand like attraction, because I'm attracted to people and I find that people are attracted to me. But attraction, how it shows up in the bedroom, attraction is not always chemistry. And so it's really, really important for me to recognize chemistry more than attraction. And how that's going to translate in these sexual encounters. So it's been interesting.
Do you enjoy inner or outer stimulation more? And a lot of women I've found out, they like outer stimulation a little bit more than even the penetrative. Maybe at least that's what I've been, getting over the past couple of years. It's like if a man can really get a woman to get to her peak, meaning like get to her apex, get to her climax of her orgasm, and he knows how to flip that switch. You understand what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Move at different speeds and no, seriously, move at different speeds and and find that G spot, which a lot of men don't know how to do. I don't know why, but they don't know how to do that with a woman. But it's so important, just a couple inches in there, it's not that far in there. And if you know how to hit that properly, and you know how to have that connection on a spiritual level. So if you look in your woman straight in her eye with confidence while you're getting her off, no matter if it's penetration through, your thing, or with your fingers or whatever you're doing, your tongue, whatever, you can get her to get off 3, 4, 5, 6 times, rattle it off in a 10-minute span. But a lot of them, they lack that self-confidence to do that. And that's why they don't have those type of experiences. Does that make any sense? Because once you get to that level, you'll feel, superior in the bedroom. I mean, you'll feel like you can do anything and everything. So my next question to you is, do you enjoy more being a dom or a sub, and why?
I like being damn, that's a hard question. I like when I'm met equally, because I know like when you talk about like foreplay and different things like that, I know that I can get aggressive, and I like someone that can handle my aggression and let me do my part. And then it's like, okay, let me match you. And it's like, okay, wait, what? I found my sexual match, and we can both like be playful and be aggressive, and we can try different things. And I'm not afraid of anything that you are open to or willing to do. I think that is very, very important. And I think as adults, we don't allow ourselves enough room to play. And sex shouldn't be transactional. It should be something that we can explore and deepen into. So, hi. Y'all going to the jacuzzi without me?
I mean, that's
damn. Okay.
Tell her to say hi.
All right.
Tell her to say hi.
Huh?
I said, tell her to say hi.
Look what she done walked into. Let me see what she got on, girl. Nothing too. Look at her, she cute.
Oh,
I'm on YouTube. You on the show?
Oh my God! Hairstyle.
That's what you came in, girl. You cute, okay?
Oh my God!
I need to see it. Butt plugs. Oh, this thing got real crazy.
Bye.
We
gonna be in the
and last but not least.
Yes.
And last but not least, my last question to you is: would you prefer to be high when you're having sex, or do you feel that you've come to terms with you can be not high and still get that super hard? You know what I'm saying? That hard climax that you really, really want. Like, do you feel that it's a difference when you're high and then when you're not high versus?
There's definitely a difference. I feel like I'm more embodied during sex when I have had cannabis, but I'm not I don't have a preference either way. I don't think about it going into it like, damn, I wish I was high right now. That's never been a way that I've engaged.
No, that's a good thing, because look, only reason why I ask is a lot of women nowadays I be knowing that if they not high or they not drunk, they be, or not, I ain't gonna say drunk, but tipsy, a lot of them be feeling like they can't mentally get into a space where they can just,
they need to work through that.
You could, because you know, when you're under the influence, you get a little bit more loose mentally. Does that make any sense? Like,
no, it absolutely makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It does. It makes sense, but I think that in response to that, there's things that people need to work through. Sex should be enjoyed, and that's what I mean. It shouldn't be a chore. It shouldn't be transactional. It should be something that is intentional and that allows you to feel free. So I don't have a preference either way. I do, however, want to have a sexual experience on psychedelics, which I haven't yet. So I look forward to that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about shrooms. Have you taken shrooms before and had that any type of psychedelic experience?
I've taken it once. I mean, I've taken it twice, and they were two very different experiences. And I think it's really, again, it comes back to intention. The first time I did it was in Joshua Tree. It was with a group of folks, and we cooked lunch, and it was made in this beautiful, like, raw cacao concoction with reishi and other elevating adaptogens. And we played the sound bowl, and my friend massaged me and asked me, she's like, how are you doing? How are you feeling? And hugged me and held me the entire time. And we played really awesome music. I think we played Future for a little bit, but it was great. It was awesome. And Anderson .Paak's No Worries. It was beautiful. And the second time I did it, not great. It wasn't really with much intention. They were just like, hey, we're gonna do shrooms. Want to do some? And I'm like, okay. And we went and watched fucking A Wrinkle in Time. Oh, I cried and I laughed and I cried. And it was an emotional roller coaster. And I was glued to my seat, and the colors were too bright and Oprah was too big. And it was just too much. It was obviously over sensory stimulation, and I would never do that again. So intention is really important, and taking these other entities, these energies into our body really requires us to be in a space to receive them. They don't like to be abused. And I think that that's really something that we should be aware of.
Facts. When it comes to stimulation, do you like a man to use his hands more, or do you like a man to use his tongue more? Or do you like a lot of kisses all over your body before you get started? Like, do you like to get
we get into the personal, the intricate details, huh?
Yeah.
I don't like a lot of fingers. I'm just like, that's just childish. Unless it's with a woman, because it's that's just what we're doing. It's a lot more sensual. It's a lot more touching. And hugging, it's very different, and their hands are just softer. Men, I don't know. Y'all hands are different. I'm not into it. So I hope that answers your question.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna fall back into the chat. Appreciate it, Phil.
Thank you, dog.
Peace.
You have a question?
Of course.
It sounds better if you ask it to yourself.
Wait, which one is it?
It's on the screen.
Oh, do you enjoy threesomes or male and female separately? I've never had a threesome. At one point, I was with a partner and I was really looking forward to a threesome. It just, we never got to a point where we picked a woman out together. So that didn't happen. And I'm not opposed to them. I think my ideal threesome, unfortunately, for y'all would be with 3 women or 2 women. But I think that it's possible. I'm not opposed to it. It just hasn't happened for me.
You know what I was going to hold you, by the way.
Oh, me?
Yeah, that's been running
I'm
around.
in my solar return. I'm 28.
When's your birthday?
December 26th.
Okay, December 26th. Yeah, I was going to tell you while you were talking is that you're not human. You're like in like a spiritual entity. You're a spiritual deity.
Aww.
No, it's serious. Like no, because the reason why I say that is because to know thyself is to know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And how you are very illicit in just stating facts. Because when people talk, they cover it up in like narratives and then they do comparative analysis. Well, back in the 60s or yesterday my brother did it, so I did it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's refreshing um to hear a person that's like that can walk and talk in a truth. It's so hard to do. It's really challenging.
It's been a learning journey. And I mean, I'm the only one that's me. This is like the only this is the only vehicle that I have. And it would be amazing to be looking out the car and having this conversation and talking about the other cars rolling by. But that does nothing to tell you about this interior and what we got going and how beautifully decorated the inside of this car is with velvet green seats. So I try to just to speak from my experience because that's literally all I have to stand on. Um, that's literally it, and I'm glad that it's brought me to this place, and I'm learning about myself, and I'm learning about how deeply connected we all are to each other in so many ways, whether that's in our sexual encounters or that's plant medicine or all of it. We're all reflections of each other, which is why it's so easy for me to kind of think about my experiences and how we can all find similarities in them. And I'm glad. I appreciate that. That lets me know you're not human either, because you can see it. It takes one to know one.
Yeah. We're the Atlians.
I appreciate that.
You got to be. I don't even think you got that, but because you're too young to even know what I'm
Listen,
talking
I know. Don't try to play me. Okay.
So which one are you?
What do you mean?
Atlians.
Oh, I'm not really sure. You mean
I'm
like
Andre
which one?
3000. I'm
No,
Andre 3000.
I'm Andre. I knew you was gonna go there.
I gave you a chance to say. I gave you a chance to say Andre. I gave you a chance. I gave you a chance, and it's okay.
Oh man.
Yeah, I gave you a chance. It sounds
Listen.
better when you say the super chats, because they probably edit and make their video. So Reggie
I'm
Owens.
South Central. We'll get down. Ooh, just flat out with it.
How about Reg just beam in? Oh, you need to. Oh, we gonna do it like this. Fuck it.
Ooh.
Yeah, niggas want to shoot their shot, right?
Oh, that's funny. Oh, Somebody said if she have her own cult in about 10 years, it wouldn't surprise me. You know what? I
No,
appreciate that.
but
That
she
is
had her
so deep.
own cult.
Yes. I would never want to do people like that.
No,
Community is
but
the
that's
word.
the uh that's code for my interpretation is that you're a leader, and
Oh, I'm trying to develop my leadership skills. I've been reading 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. So there.
yeah, yeah. You know, if you ever want to be a leader, you can. All you gotta do is read books on Hitler. You know what I mean?
Listen, but you know he got all of his ways of doing things. Well, not all of them,
No, the
but
reason
he
why.
got a lot of
Go ahead. Sorry.
he got a lot of ideas from what's her name? Margaret Sanger.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
followed her blueprint, but I just don't understand it. But yeah, you're right. I don't want to read about him though.
I mean, it's all on leadership. You know what I mean?
It is.
You want to be a great leader. You know what I mean? You'll understand the psychosis of being a leader.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
like people are so interesting. Like it's like we have to be able to be our own thought leaders first. I hate the term, but I don't think that a lot of people are, which is a little scary. But like learning how to critically assess your thoughts, I think that was like the first thing for me. And I was like, dang, I can't even change all the bad ones, but maybe I can match the bad ones with good ones. And that's the first step. Even trying to get people to understand that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm not definitely would never want to cut you off. Continue.
That was it.
Okay. Well,
Listening.
The public speaking is like the number one phobia. And then you combine that with the inability to actually like communicate on a one-on-one level. So it's really, really challenging for like it's really, really challenging for people to actually express their true selves. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for example, it's so hard for men to say, hey, they rather lie to a woman than say, hey, I think that one woman isn't enough for me, you know, or from a woman's perspective, one man isn't enough for me. You understand? So I think the art of communication, if you've mastered yourself and you have the ability to articulate it, whether it's through nonverbal and or verbal communication, like the world is yours. And man, it's and people use that power for good, bad. You know what I mean? What's up, Asia?
Hey, I had a question
Sure.
for Green Goddess. During a sexual interaction, do you feel a person spiritually can reach a higher chakra or their highest chakra?
Oh, like being out of your body? Absolutely. I've had that experience. And again, like I said, I've just had really great partners that were very much in spiritual alignment and opened me up to that. So I don't think that I was really that aware of myself in some previous relationships, and then it was a growing experience for me. So absolutely, I've had that experience of transcendence and that like bliss that people talk about. I've had that and I am grateful for it, and it's unfortunate to me that some people haven't experienced it or don't know how to reach that, but it really takes choosing the right person and the right partner for that to happen. And I mean, it doesn't even have to be like anything super romantic and it happened in a bed full of rose petals. No, this happened on a drop top of a convertible car outside. And I was like, this is amazing. I want this experience. I'm probably not going to ever have that experience again, but it was spontaneous and it was beautiful and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was what I was speaking from. It really wasn't about a lot of foreplay and a lot of the, the shenanigans, like you say, the rose petals, and they got to be in this setting. Just the actual interactions. From my experience, the female, I don't want to say she got it confused, but her interpretation is that, okay, you're my soulmate. And like Fred said, I revere myself as a person, being honest and truthful with myself. I just don't see myself with one woman right now. That's my truth.
Yeah.
So if she's revering herself as my soulmate, then what, how you diffuse the confusion?
I mean,
and we just had, yeah.
We can have multiple soulmates. Conversation over. But I mean, emotions are not that simple. And I think that we have lived in a society that told us that monogamy is the only way that we can achieve happiness. Luckily for me, I've seen other examples of that. I've seen successful polyamorous relationships. I've seen successful family structures with more than one wife. And it's just about managing those relationships. It takes a very powerful, a very in tune, a very intentional, a very forthright, a very aware man to be able to handle something like that. And there's only one man that I've ever met in my lifetime that I felt could do that, and he didn't want to. And he had all of the resources, all of the mental, spiritual capacity, but I don't think he had the emotional availability to be able to manage multiple relationships. So I think that it's possible. I think that honesty is key. And I think it's okay when you meet a soulmate and they aren't where you need them to be, and for you guys to be in a happy, loving relationship. We have multiple soulmates. So maybe it just wasn't y'all time. Y'all had y'all time and now it's over. We can't always have things that last forever.
Right, I guess. Yes, no, I wasn't looking for a relationship. Like I said,
right. But she was.
It was right. Well, I don't know. She was like, "Hey, you're my soulmate."
Yeah.
Because she just had this great inner body experience, or whatever it was.
And some people can't associate. I mean, it's great because now you have a soul tie, and I think maybe she was just confused. She's like, "Oh, I got a soul tie, so this must be my soulmate," and it's just like, no, girl, that's not always how it works. So
we could have revisited, but it wasn't like, hey, this going to be exclusive.
Yeah,
because you can give that same gift to another person. Like the guy you say that gave it to you, I'm quite sure there was other females that he was able to gift that to as well. So, and the same with you, if you gift that to a guy and then he said, okay, you my soulmate, now he wants to be clingy with you, you would handle that in what fashion?
Wait, what?
I say you would handle that in what fashion if you gave a guy a beautiful organic experience, orgasmic experience, and now he's attached to you, like you're his soulmate. How would you handle that?
Well, I mean, it depends on what we see for our partnership. Do we see a long-lasting relationship? Are we in a place in our lives where we can nurture a relationship, or are we still getting to know each other? And it depends. Did he communicate that to me? Is it something that he's just feeling on his own? And then how does he communicate that to me? Is it in a love language that I can understand and reciprocate? So there's a lot of things that go into that. I don't know exactly what I would say because I don't feel that way at this moment. So there's a lot of ways to proceed after he tells you, like, oh, I feel like you're my soulmate. That's beautiful. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
But keep it pushing.
No, it depends on where we are.
No. We being honest. I mean, I'm not just keep it pushing that. I can't see. Look, for now, you got rent for one night. Now come back next month, and we probably.
Oh, that's funny.
But you
do you believe that you can have multiple soulmates? I have a question for you.
Yes, because you say we're all universally connected, so that kind of like answers that question within itself. If we're connected vicariously, you're my soulmate. We're on a different chakra level, right? We're probably at the lowest chakra, and then with the opportunity for it to go up. So vicariously, yes, we're all soulmates, or we're not. But yes, you can have. But to answer your question, yes, I believe you can have multiple soulmates. Look at all the people in the world. It's over 5 billion at least, and you're saying you can only have one soulmate, and then there are multiple sexes. Well,
right.
I'm not bisexual, but it's enough women for me to have multiple soulmates.
Yeah.
But the main question was the chakra. So you do believe that a good sexual experience can help you reach a higher chakra level.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's really important for people to understand Kundalini energy and how it moves through the body, and even understanding sexual transmutation. Everything doesn't have to be an orgasm. Sometimes it can be repurposed. So yeah, sexual energy is very powerful.
Right. Do you feel it's greedy if you go start at like 10 a.m. and you don't stop to 6 a.m.? Is that greed, lust, or just enjoying the experience?
I don't think I want to do that to my body. I'm not trying to put all the miles on my body. That sounds tedious. I don't know.
But all right, Fred, I'm going to be back in the chat.
Appreciate you, Asia.
Thanks again for the questions. No problem.
All right, all the time. He said 10 to 6, 8 hours.
That's a whole working day. You gotta have nothing else to do. No, sir, I got other things to do. Not even on my Saturdays. That's for self-care.
How's dating been for you, by the way?
I haven't been really dating, actually. I was seeing someone, and that it's kind of hard to say what dating has been like. It's more so been lessons for me. And now I know what my requirements are. Like, one, you have to live here, okay? You have to be in my vicinity. You can't just fly into town and want to take me out. Like, that's not gonna work. And two, you got to be emotionally available. So dating, now that I have those two things in place, hasn't really been possible because we've been, on lockdown. But I have been exploring quarantine bayship, which has been great. So, I got a little quarantine thing, but I'm like excited to be dating because I in the past actually would stay away from dating, would not want to do it at all. I just felt like it was super uncomfortable and I didn't want to be across from somebody like interrogating them and letting them interrogate me. But I think now that I have like blossomed in my womanhood and I understand how I want to show up. I love getting dressed and putting on the perfume and doing my hair and like engaging someone and like using my body language across the table from someone. And so I think I'm open to getting back out there and dating after taking some time away from it for a while.
You got a question? You got to call it 323. What's up?
Hey.
You ain't dated. Hey, you ain't dated nobody. I'm snatching you.
You ain't too far. Hey, you ain't too far. You ain't too far. He in Vegas.
He got the 323 area code. I'm done.
Hey, you fella, watch out. We got too much to come snatching you up. And you was in the chat last week, I think, with who was that? Valencia.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, and she was talking that talk. Man, I like your get down. Oh man, I'm snatching you up. Ain't no dating. Hey, I'm going to war over this one.
Oh. Listen, that's chivalry right there.
I'm going to war. Mm-hmm.
Red, listen here.
Breathe on it, Red. Take your time. What you got? He hung up? He hung up by accident?
He's like, that's it. That's all she needs to know.
No, I'm here still, but I know I like what you're talking about. She intelligent. She, you know, you ain't hiding. You ain't trying to mask or dress up your sexuality, how you feel about it. You open about it, and you got an airy sense too. You like, man, everything's just beautiful about your spirit. Everything you're talking about, like, I love it, man. I like where you're coming from. So, hey, I'm snatching you up. You're gonna be my friend. and if you settle down with somebody, I can keep a secret. I'm on the side.
See, listen, me and my partner gonna have to agree on that, sir.
No, ain't no. You can come hang with me and the chicks that I fuck with. If you mess with me and you do, it's a secret. That motherfucker. I ain't doing that.
My God.
It's me, you, and whatever little freak I'm fucking with.
That's crazy. Listen, let you tell it.
But no, I enjoy everything you're talking about, but I gotta run.
Thank you.
Just know, if I see you,
no, you are gonna
you gonna remember me.
You gonna come.
Oh yeah, when I see her, I'm grabbing her. I'm gonna grab you up and I'm gonna squeeze you, and you gonna know that's me.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Right now, she's not too far. She's not too far from me. 3 hours.
Fred, don't be giving my location. Why you being
I'm
like this?
giving the city. I didn't get a location.
Okay.
I don't know your location.
Well, designate. Hey, wait, when I see you, I'm grabbing you. You can be walking
First of all, sir,
and I'm gonna squeeze you. I'm snatching you.
if you say my name wrong, I'm not gonna respond. So that's first of all.
Hey, no, ain't it? Or Gigi, I'm gonna call you Gigi. I put that on the screen.
No, that's wrong too. It's D. It's a long E.
Deontay.
Oh, Deontay. Oh, we ain't got it. Don't be crazy about that. You gonna give me a break. I'm English is my second language. I'm learning.
Oh, sir, you gonna tell me why I'm a Jew? I don't know if this gonna work out. I got my own mind for that.
But yeah, I'm up here messing with you. But I like everything that you was talking. I like everything. I like your whole get down. I like that shit. But I'm gonna fall back in the chat. But I'm telling you, if I come across you, I'm squeezing. I'm grabbing you.
All right. I'll catch you later. Give me some forewarning.
Give you a forewarning.
He just did.
I was just wondering right there. Exactly, Fred. Exactly.
I got you, homie. I got you.
All right.
Mark Jackson's my favorite basketball player of all time. I got you, Reg. Yeah, your real-time cognition is splendid. For real. No, it is.
That's great.
Yeah, for real. It is. You should do your own podcast.
You know what, man, Fred? Why would you bring this up? My homegirl been trying to send me a link to a mic and an engineer.
Yo, shit would be do like me. Do it from your own home. I spent about $1,000. I got all the, you guys can't see it, but I got a board, I got a camera, I got a mic stand, got a mic. I got all the wires and shit. It cost me about $1,000, and I can do it every night. So it's basically free. If you get what I'm saying, the mileage, I'm here every night in between 2 and 3.5 hours, and it basically comes out to be free, So I've been doing this since September, but I've been doing this show for about a month now. So
you popping.
We popping. Now we popping.
Dang, you affirmed something for me.
Say it again.
I said you affirmed that for me.
Yeah.
That has been consistently coming up. So I really appreciate you.
You can use my platform, like come on like once a week, do a show, and then push them to your platform.
Oh, I like this. Come on, marketing strategy.
You know how many YouTube celebrities I've made on this channel? My boxing trainer.
Talent when you see it.
The Wilder hater is a celebrity now in boxing because of my channel.
Listen.
Yeah, he's a literally they heckle him at fights now. You know what I mean? Yeah. He gets heckled.
I'm glad you're tickled by it. That's hilarious.
Yeah. I love that this platform can be an asset. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love it too. Shout out to you.
I know they ain't. I know MXC. They don't even. They don't respect that. They don't respect that. The pass.
Listen, You start talking about sports, you lost me.
Mark Jackson is the third all-time leader in assists in the NBA. I think he's behind John Stockton.
Ooh.
So I was telling her I threw Reg a no-look pass. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Anyways, yeah. So that's kinda...
It's like how you're a novice to cannabis. I'm like you when it comes to sports.
Sports, yeah. What part of LA are you in?
Like, yeah.
What city are you in?
What city am I in?
Yeah.
I'm just outside of Compton.
Okay, CPT. I was just over there the other day. I had to go to the Paramount. What is that? Home Depot. I had to rent I'm doing a remodel, so I had to rent a motherfucking machine to do some texture painting.
Fancy.
Not fancy.
Nice.
Labor. That's what it is. It's labor. That's what that shit is.
Fancy when you finish.
Say it again.
I said it'll be fancy when you finish.
We'll see. We coming down the stretch. Sunday, we should have great results. Sunday and Monday, because we all gonna be able to put in 8 hours on Monday. You know what I mean? So yeah.
That is labor. Shout outs to y'all.
Yeah, so
I love
coming.
it.
Yeah, so it's coming. Tell her I would help sponsor. Oh shit. Asia Math said he would help sponsor your podcast.
I appreciate that. I might have to take you up on that offer.
He's the gentleman that just called prior to Reggie.
Yeah, I know. I ain't forget him. He called in multiple times tonight, right?
Yeah, he called it already. He's the one with the C's.
Yeah, yeah.
So next to Universal Soul Circus.
I appreciate that.
I do mental flips and spiritual backflips. What are you talking about, Dak? Dave Jack? I'm joking. But oh, now you got it, right? You got it, right? You got it. All right. So put your Instagram in the chat. That's what you should do. So they can follow you. We should have did that shit earlier.
Oh, snap. How do I get in here?
Just copy and paste the link.
I have to, it says log in or sign up. Can I leave a comment without doing either one of those things?
Don't worry about it. I got you.
Yeah, it's just at Dejanay, like right there. And then Tanai. I remember, last week you butchered my name. I was like, oh, that's so wrong. But how would you know? How would anybody know? I feel like there should just be like a phonetic way of saying my name at the bottom.
You only can be angry at someone if you absolutely know they know the answer. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was never mad. I was just like, dang.
You know that. Yeah, we got kids and shit. Like, you can't be mad at them if you don't know if they know the answer. Yeah, so this is her Instagram. So this is her Instagram. Go follow her. They about to go follow your ass. Oh, let me know how many DMs.
People did from last week, and I was like, I wasn't even the guest. How you find me?
Just let me know how many DMs you get, because I just want to know like the
ratio. Listen, exactly. I'm looking for. You know what? I think it's time.
I don't care what
it's
they say.
Time for me, bro.
All right, I appreciate. I don't care what they. I don't care what they say. I'm just curious to know the numbers. That's all. Seriously. So she about to get out of here, guys. Anybody?
I am. I'm about to go get in a jacuzzi.
See, there you go. See, I'm about to shoot. Anybody else want to shoot their last shot? She gonna post her stories on Instagram. So go to her.
Listen, y'all ain't see dinner from yesterday. Damn, is it gone?
Go to her
great day yesterday.
Go to her Instagram and y'all can follow her stories on the weekend. She's gonna be in the jacuzzi with 3 other young women, having a great time.
There's 7 of us.
Say it again.
There's 7 of us here.
Oh, see, there you go. See, 7 is better than 4.
8. Different flavors of the flavor. Okay.
Yeah. Every color of the spectrum.
Isn't polygamy like swinging though? Not really.
Oh, polyamorous. I have a speaking of that, June 4th, guys. Y'all gonna love the show June 4th. That's another thing I was doing too. June 4th, I have a guest. And she's in a polyamorous relationship.
Wow.
She's coming on with her men though.
Oh, wait, what?
June 4th. It's
Come
gonna be a
on.
fire show.
Come on, Queen. She
It's
better do
gonna
the
be.
things.
It's gonna be a. I follow her on Instagram, and I've been following her for 6 to 9 months. And the reason why I followed her was because she was so honest. Not because I knew anything about her sexuality, but I saw one of her posts, and I was like, "Damn, she's so honest." And I followed her, and I love her. I love her Instagram. So we got that. So June 4th. Fasten your seatbelts. It's gonna be a hell of a show. I'll post it.
I'll be there.
And I appreciate that. I genuinely appreciate that. So her and her men, she calls it her primary and her secondary. And I have no idea what you're talking about. So just call me and yeah. So
I need to understand this too. I'm
what
gonna
they
be back.
create. Relationships are created. You understand what I'm saying? So
That's what I love about them. Listen, they can literally be whatever you want.
exactly.
They can be whatever you want. And I think we've been conditioned to be so rigid and to create expectations that don't need to be there of ourselves and of others. And it's just so beautiful to see us breaking that mold and doing what works for us. So I'm into it.
Yeah, 6 hands are better than 4.
I guess. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're building communities and families,
Yeah,
you know.
building community. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
3
absolutely.
3 incomes are better than 2. You know.
I know you heard about those women that are like co-parenting together, not as like sexual partners, but just to help each other. And I'm just like, there's room for all of it. So, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Any last words you want to say?
I'm about to go roll up, and I enjoyed this thoroughly. Thank you.
Please
Appreciate
come back
you
on. Come back
so
on.
much.
Come back on next month, please.
I am happy to anytime. And I'm glad we were able to have this time together. And I appreciate everybody in the comments.
Go to her
That's
Instagram,
my favorite
guys.
place.
Go to her Instagram and let me know how many DMs you got. Just give me the number. I'll ask you Monday and how many DMs you. I'm just curious to see what the show does, you know.
Okay. I will give you those DM numbers.
I appreciate you. Thank you. We got so many quotables on this, man. Thanks to all the callers, man. I appreciate you. And thank you, Dejanay. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Valencia.
Thank you, Valencia. Have
Thank
a good weekend, all y'all.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. Peace.
All right. Have fun. So there you have it, man. That was a shit. This show was awesome. This show was awesome. Damn. So that's why when you guys say they aren't good people and intellectuals in the world and shit, you know what I mean? Shit, it's just, that's a lie. That's a fucking lie. We went from cannabis to higher order sexual interactions, man. You know what I mean? And I was gonna say this too. Oh wait, what we got? What up, DB? DB.
Yes, sir.
How you feel? How you feel?
Oh man, what they say 55 sitting on 55 mil.
50. He
but
shot. Go ahead.
I guess I'm what 20 something. Feeling like $1 trillion. How about that?
Yeah, this show was fucking amazing.
Man, you know what? This right here proves, man. This proves what we already know, that we are an elite species of people. All of these queens, I mean, every single one of the queens that you brought on, I can't even think of everybody's name right now, but if you just take those 7 or 8 women and then add Patty Dean and, you know what I mean, and Keena, and even with Keena being shy, and can't even think of all of the different queens' names, but you put them all in a room, man, those 10 or 15 different women, how can a man not fall in love?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, how can you? And I don't mean just in a sense of like a physical or sexual. I mean the intellect and the way that they express themselves and articulate. Man, it's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we all learned a lot tonight too. We all learned something. We all can take something away from this show tonight.
Yeah, and what's her friend's name? The one that was on last week? Valencia.
Oh, Valencia. She was in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna add Valencia to that. You know what I mean? Like, man,
you got a compliment.
Diverse. Man.
She was
we
like,
special
speak
people.
on it. What you talking about, DJ? No, I just want you to accept the compliment. She said, "Woo, speak on it." Dejanay. That's what she was talking about. Okay, continue.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm not even, again, like I said, I ain't even talking about nothing sexual. You know what I mean? I mean that all adds to it, right? Because you know we are a rhythmic people. You know, as Khalid Muhammad would say. You know, we are people of spirit. You know, and energy. So of course the sexual and the physical adds to it. But man, you know that intellect and being able to articulate, man, that is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, to articulate put your emotions in the words. To put your more important to put your spirit in the words, because how can to put your spirit in words that an earthling can understand, you know what I mean? Because there are many people that are going to listen to this show. They are not in touch with their spirituality. You know what I mean? They're too machismo. They too human, you know, for that. You know what I mean? So it's it's hard to put your spirituality in words, you know, and put it in a way that humans like you and I can understand, you know.
Yeah, I think some people they were a little confused that you know Aunt Fresh and Reggie and you know they're like, oh, these questions are aggressive, or you know maybe she not responding. Man, we are from South Central Los Angeles, so Patty Dean and Reggie and Aunt Fresh and J.A. You know what I mean? And Jeffrey Lakes. Like, man, we from LA, so we see things you, Fred, you know what I'm saying? Like we feel it in a different way. You know, Valencia, like they from here, so they don't get disrespected by it. They understand what's disrespect and what's not. You know what I mean? And man, I love that about them. I love South Central LA women, that's for sure. The one that's right here with me right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, but you guys want to know something for real? For real, I can honestly say one of the first times I saw God was in a sexual experience. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. I saw God. Like, it was like, man, there is a God. Like, and I'm not even tooting myself on a horn or nothing like that, but I'm talking about just like the chemistry of it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's something that, you know what I mean, it's hard for people to even grasp the concept that you can see God in something like that. People just think that sex is just straightforward, but keep in mind, it's God uterus. You understand what I'm saying? And when you understand that, you know how to value it. You know, so it's powerful, man. Intercourse, it's powerful. Interrelations, you know.
Yeah, man, I can't wait for us to have our next fight or our next convention. So when we have our next barbecue, you know what I'm saying? When everybody get a chance to powwow together, you know what I'm saying? Like all of this different energy and all these different voices, man. It's just gonna be something amazing and special when we all get a chance to really get out and powwow and have our sidebar conversations and all of that. You know? I'm so pumped for that. That pumps me up more than anything else. We start having more conversations about getting a belt for Deontay Wilder and a real belt for Errol Spence Jr. And is she still in the chat right now? I can't see if she is or not.
No, she said peace about a minute and a half ago.
Okay.
Valencia is still in here though.
Okay. If she's still in here, I wanted to tell us who her favorite boxer is. If she's still here, if she knows who Deontay Wilder, Errol Spence knows these are.
Valencia. While she's saying that, Clipper Darrow will be in here tomorrow night, and Saturday and Sunday, Austin Trout. We got Austin Trout Sunday. So yeah, we got Austin Trout Sunday, Clipper Darrow on Saturday, and then Monday we're gonna wrap up what we've been talking about Friday. See now I know. Like I was gonna fill in like every show every day, but now I know I'm gonna cut it back to like 2 guests a week. Because I like the conversations all of us have. Like I genuinely love. Like yesterday reminded me of how much I missed y'all. Like just talking shit and swallowing spit, and then being intellectuals, and then pretending to be hood niggas. Well, for me, pretending to be a hood nigga. And you know, I like that. I like that duality of us. You know. So she's back in the chat. So she got a question for her.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. She's still here. She says, "Huh."
I said, who is your favorite boxer today? If you know any boxers at all today, if you pay attention to any, and who's your favorite boxer of all time outside of Muhammad Ali? Because he's all our favorite.
Oh, the green goddess says boxing. You say?
Yeah.
And she already, I don't know. That's hard to believe if you're open enough. Just how many things can fall. God being one. Yeah. Who's your favorite boxer? Green Goddess. We never asked her that. And Valencia. Patty Dean answered that question. Her family grew up on boxing. I remember her answering that.
Yeah, no, Patty, my sister, man, she one of us. So, you know, she don't count as one of the girls. She a goddess, but she don't count as one of the girls. She an alien.
Hey, Asia Mav, when you're in the chat, you always have like something in your chat that says like "stay home."
Stay home.
Yeah. Is that on purpose? Oh, that's on purpose, right? Yeah, I don't know. It says YT.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
I don't know. Stay home, YT. I don't know if he knows that, but so.
Well, anyway, man, it is officially Saturday right now, man. So at this time, man, I really want to thank oh, by the way, Tony Snow, what up, man? I forgot Tony Snow, my brother too. He's from out here with us too, man.
What's up, Tony?
I keep forgetting, you know. Yeah, Tony Snow, he LA family too. Jarvis, of course, you know. And yeah, like I said last time, man, shout out to all of the Nicaraguenses, shout out to all the Belizeans, shout out to all the Guatemaltecos, all the Chapins, shout out to all the East and West Africans, you know, peace to my ancestors in Wakanda and also in Zamunda, you know, and love, peace, and hair grease. Fred, man, before we get out of here, do me a huge favor, man.
Yes, sir.
Play the song, Fred!
Love you, man. Appreciate you, big homie.
Okay.
And his team, we're going to stand together and fight this disease.
I don't give a fuck what nobody say. People say they got bigger shows, better shows. Man, shows don't get better than this. It can't. A show cannot be better than this show. A show cannot be better than the show we just had tonight. It's just impossible. Everyone was so dog. I can honestly say everyone was listening to every syllable of this show tonight. I can tell by the interaction. Damn, I had a phone call. I had to go back 20 minutes. Yeah, People Hernandez, man, this show was fucking fire. God damn, Donald, Triple OG, this show was fire, Buddy Lee. Buddy Lee stayed up all the way in TX, man. What's up, Valencia? Sing this shit with me, Valencia. You don't know this shit yet. This your first time in here. Sing, but you gonna sing this. Sing it. Help her out, y'all.
Can't take it personal, cause the devil is a liar. I'm telling you the truth, hey. It's only what you do,
hey. Some things you gotta do, hey. Ant Fresh with the great questions, man. Asia Math said, I got you, boo. I got you, ma. Whatever you need, I got you. 3 states, championship boxing, man. I appreciate you. Triple OG. See you tomorrow. Yeah, we got Clipper Darrow. We got basketball tomorrow. We got Clipper Darrow tomorrow night. That's gonna be fun. Yeah, man. Hey. It's the moment of truth. Go back and I got my 5 mics. Yeah, Dave Jack, People Hernandez, man. I appreciate both of y'all, man. Thank you. Jarvis, man, you missed it, dog. You got to go back and rewatch the show. The show was fucking 3 hours and 27 minutes. I swear to God, it felt like 90 minutes. It went by fast. Yeah, Bob, and it's 12 o'clock. Shit. Wow. Jabbing the competition, back up against the ropes, you fight for recognition. I'm fighting just to promote equality where we lack it. While cancer slowing our road, I'm confident. So we gotta give back, give love. My son's singing that song. He likes the song. That's what it is. Miss Patty, Fred. Oh, not yet. Okay, my bad. See you tomorrow. Oh, that's cool too. Asia Math, I got you, dog. I threw you a 2-hand bounce pass. Nice to play with no rehearsal. Last time, y'all, before we get out of here, y'all, sing this shit.
Cause the devil is a liar.
love y'all, buddy Lee. Appreciate you, big homie. It's 2 o'clock in Dallas. It's not 6 a.m. It's 6 a.m. in Calabasas, 5 a.m. in Calabasas, 6 a.m. in T-Dot. Where the hell Drake be saying? Jarvis, man, go watch the replay, dog. I love y'all, man. This shit was a hell of a fucking show. Asia Math shit took his shot from the half court, took his shot from the 3-point line, free throw line, and then I think he might have made a layup. Barbershop Conversations, man. I love y'all, man. Don't forget to go subscribe to our Instagram and shoot your shot, nigga. Shoot your shot. All right, she a beautiful woman. 307 in Queens. Queens. How was that, DB? Did that end it well for all the people in Zamunda? All right, I'll holler at y'all. Peace.